Live from Sun Devil Stadium in Tempe, Arizona, the first Saturday night United States Football League game on ESPN, the Chicago Blitz against the Arizona Wranglers.
Game about set to get underway. The crowd still coming in. We're going to have a nice one on hand. It is a low bouncing kick coming to Blue at the 10. Back to the 20. This side, 25, 30, and about the 32-yard line, and down he goes. Nice return to get the ball game underway, and Alan Risher will have good field position. Blue a bit disappointed that he wasn't downfield or upfield a bit farther. Willis was there to make the stop, and Alan Risher comes on to quarterback the Arizona club, starting at his own 32-yard line. Risher's got to be a bit nervous coming on his first professional start. He brings him up to the line of scrimmage. Bledsoe and Clark are the setbacks behind him. At his own 32, play action fake, and he's back to throw. Upfield, complete at the 45 to midfield, and down to the 45-yard line is Mark Keel, the tight end and a local favorite here. He's an Arizona product, and in fact, Don Heinrich has just joined this football team, and he's debuted quite well, I'd say.
Well, he didn't play last week, but this week they expect a lot out of him. They went with a little play action off that right side. They didn't waste any time. Risher, not wanting to go deep, they had a man deep down the right sideline, went to Keel crossing and got a big gain.
Indeed, 22 yards, a nice first down for the Wranglers. The ball is at the 46-yard line in blitz territory. Coming in motion is Balholm, and again the handoff, this time straight ahead, the fullback Clark. He gets to about the 45-yard line as they unpile. The middle of that Chicago Blitz defense, led by Jim Fonhorst. Kit Lathrop was in on the stop, but Fonhorst, number 55, is a man you'll be watching a lot tonight. Last week, Risher was 5 of 13. He was intercepted once. Came in late in that ball game, the game that they lost to the Oakland Invaders. Put it at the 45, and it's going to be second down and 9. First series, dropping into the I formation. That's Bledsoe, the tailback. Long count by Risher. Play action, back to throw, gets a heavy rush, steps up. He's a pretty good runner, remember. Nice move, and slips and falls at the 36. Don, he was doing what it appears he can do best, run, and all of a sudden he tripped himself up.
Well, I would have to believe that he automatic at the line of scrimmage. He was in one set, went to the I formation. Now we're going to get a replay on it. He fakes, and then as he's getting rushed, trying to step back up inside, he sees that he doesn't have a receiver. He gets downfield, picks up some nice yardage, and very alertly and smartly, because he's a 3+ student, or was at LSU, goes to the ground rather than take a lick.
Risher looking over at the sidelines, and of course the plays are being called for him. Denfeld has come in now, and Bledsoe has gone out. So Doug Shively's going to an extra wide receiver now, and the ball is at the 37-yard line of the Chicago Blitz. A pickup of 8. Wide to the left side, and turning the corner is Clark, and he's down the sideline, chased out of bounds. We'll wait for the official to mark it. He's going to put it at the 25-yard line. Very fine run, chased out by Virgil Livers, the veteran cornerback for the Blitz. And as they bring it in and set it on the hash, we're going to put it at the 25-yard line. Good enough for a pickup and a first down.
Well, Clark had a pretty good week last week, but this time, because he has that good vision, he broke up to the inside on that, Tom. Saw something to the outside in the short yardage. The Blitz were in a 6-1, and he picked up a nice gain.
Again, Denfeld comes in, and he set as the tight end on the right side. Wide to the left is Balholm. Rolling to the right, Risher, looking, throws, complete at about the 13-yard line. Up to make the stop, Fonhorst from his middle linebacker spot.
Well, Balholm doing a nice job. He doesn't have great speed for a rookie. He's 26 years old, and he had gone on a mission. We're going to get a replay out of BYU. We get Risher rolling to the right. Balholm hooks down in front to the inside, gets a nice gain out of it. An excellent drive going here in the early going.
At the 13-yard line, it'll be 1st and 10 now. This possession started at the 32-yard line of the Wranglers. Lone set back is Clark. Risher has Smith to the right side. Clark looking for a hole, squirms to the 10-yard line. And the middle of the Blitz defense is there, led by Fonhorst again, and coming up from the secondary to make the stop, Luther Bradley. George Allen has moved to a free safety position, and he made the stop at the 10-yard line. Gain of 3.
Arizona having changed up a little bit now, something they showed in practice, using Mark Keel and Phil Denfield with a 2 tight end offense, give them a little more blocking power up there, so they're trying to knock it out in the inside.
What a difference a week has made. Wide to the left side is Balholm. Going in motion is Keel. Risher rolling left, getting chased, throws it away. Did well to get that ball even thrown, as incomplete as it was, considering the heavy rush he was getting, and the fact that rolling to your left and throwing with the right hand is not the easiest thing in the world. In there very quickly was Stan White.
One of the things Risher does do, even though he throws reasonably well from the pocket, he probably throws better on the move. In most cases, I've often wondered why coaches want to run a guy to the left initially in the early going of a football game when it's much easier to throw to the right. Good job by Risher avoiding getting dropped back there.
Big play time now. 3rd down and 7. The ball is at the Blitz 10-yard line. This drive started on the 32 of the Wranglers. Coming in motion is Balholm. Back with it is Risher. Nice protection. Comes back to the opposite side at the 10. With it is Keel at the 5. Can't get away, and down he goes. Good effort by Keel. Pretty good play call, too. Rolling right and throw it back to the other side.
Well, an excellent job. They brought Keel in motion off of the action to the right play. We'll get an isolated on it with the play action right. Keel coming behind the line of scrimmage is open for a moment. The defensive back was a little far off of him. He almost breaks the tackle. And now the big decision. Do you go for the field goal? And it looks like they will get the points.
Lathrop was in there, and Bradley to slow Keel down. They're going to go for 3. The crowd did not necessarily like the selection, go for 3 instead of going for the touchdown or the first down. But it is 4th and 2 at the 5. And coaches learn in a hurry. Get what you can, and don't waste all of that good possession by coming up empty. Try for the 3. It is up, and it is good. From the 10, a 20-yard field goal. Going to put the Arizona Wranglers on top as they go from their 32. A 68-yard drive, and they lead 3-0. 3-0. Arizona leads, drawing first blood. The drive 63 yards, and the field goal officially at 22 yards for Asmus, who changed his jersey number. Don Heinrich went from 13 to 16. I don't know about being superstitious, but it paid off. He's all set to kick off now.
It did, Tom. He missed 2 last week in the first half, a 34, 35-yarder.
Jim Stone out of Notre Dame is awaiting the kickoff. It's high, not all that deep. Stone at the 7. Bobbles it. Picks it up. Comes to the 10. 15. Almost got away at the 19-yard line. Dropped just short of the 20. And Wilcox was down there leading the parade along with Marcus Tarver. 9 plays, 63 yards, and 4 minutes and 44 seconds went by to get 3-0 Wranglers on the board.
Well, the old pro, Greg Landry, you don't know what he's going to do, but you certainly know that the defense of the Arizona Wranglers has got to be pumped up. That's the first points they put on the board in 2 ball games, and they're on top 3-0.
Trumaine Johnson is flanked to the left side. Landry is the quarterback. Wide to the right side is Buggs. The tight end going in motion is Ricker, and oh my, we've got some action at the line of scrimmage. And jumping across the line was number 65, Bob Nelson, who might be just a little bit pumped up about this ball game tonight, Don. He was with the Blitz, and he's had some comments to make about the Chicago Ball Club, and now playing here for the Wranglers. He's probably just a little over-enthused about this one.
I'm sure he is.
Offside against the Wranglers, and Landry, of course, is going to take the 5 yards.
You see him jump there early on the replay of it, and Nelson, as well as the Wrangler and the Blitz club, there are some hard feelings between them. The Chicago club having trained down here, they are not going back to Chicago. George Allen wants to take advantage of this good weather. They're leaving next Thursday to make their first appearance in their area. And the Blitz were one club that did not have the opportunity to scrimmage against Arizona.
Again, wide to the right is Buggs, and again, Trumaine Johnson is flanked to the left side. The back set strong to the left. That's Kevin Long, number 48, and Spencer is number 46. Spencer is nearest to you as you look at Landry and the Blitz with a 1st and 5. Straight ahead. Kevin Long breaking up over the middle and over the 25 and out close to the 28-yard line. Bottom of the pile there, in to make the stop. Number 58 was Kimmel.
Looking at Kevin Long and Tim Spencer. Spencer basically, while he'll hit inside, and he's strong inside, has the excellent speed to go deep. Long more of a pound-out type of a running back. Spencer's got 4.5 speed, and they would like to get him the ball. They feel that he's a game breaker and a big playmaker. He along with Tremaine Johnson, so I'm sure we're going to see a lot of work out of those two this evening.
And a flag on the play is going to nullify that run. They bring it back to the 24, take it back to the 19, which was the original line of scrimmage. And the penalty is going to be a motion call against the Chicago Blitz. That brings it back to the 19-yard line, and it goes back to 1st and 10. So after a penalty against the Wranglers, and then a gain, offset by a penalty, we're right back at 1st and 10. The ball at the Chicago Blitz, 19-yard line. Coming in motion is Bugs, and there's Nelson again, and he jumped over the line of scrimmage, and flags come fluttering down in the lovely night air here at Tempe, Arizona. Just a beautiful evening. The Arizona desert never prettier than it was today. The weather just perfect. Again, offside against Nelson.
We're getting a change with Nelson. Nelson is jumping. One of the things that I'm sure that Landry, recognizing that Nelson is not real happy with that ball club, and the fact that the Arizona defense is an aggressive type of defense, is probably changing up his count at the line of scrimmage, going on long counts to look at him or quick counts to keep him off balance.
George Allen across the way, looking on. It's now 1st and 5 for a Chicago Blitz team. Now Bugs in motion to the right side. Tremaine Johnson set to the right, and the handoff is straight ahead. Carrying out to about the 28-yard line was Tim Spencer. Tackle as Spencer carried out to about the 28-yard line. In there to make the stop was Kadich, number 61, who played his college ball at Washington. They're marking it at the 28. A gain of 4, 2nd down, and 1 yard to go. You look into the Chicago Blitz huddle. That's Spencer, who is some physical specimen, number 46. He is just awesome. 2nd down and 1. 3-0 Wranglers lead. We're in the first period. In fact, the Blitz with their first possession. And again, jumping across the line of scrimmage. This time, Calvin Clark. Now, whether he was drawn across or not, but it's quite obvious, Don Heinrich, this Arizona Wrangler defensive front set is really wound a little tight for this football game.
Well, they want to get penetration. That's part of the defense that Coach Shively insists on. They're a very aggressive club. They try to be intimidating, and sometimes a ball club has a tendency to get a little too emotional and just a little too intense.
Coming up Monday night, ESPN continues its coverage of United States Football League action. They'll be moving to the Coliseum in Los Angeles, where the Washington Federals go against the LA Express. That should be a dandy football game, and it's going to match two of the great Canadian Football League coaches, namely Ray Yark of the Washington Federals, and coming up also will be Hugh Campbell of the LA Express. They are old friends, really, from Canadian Football League days, and that'll be a great football game Monday night. Tim Simpson and Paul McGuire will be there for that. Back to throw Landry. Downfield has his man Johnson open at the 50, and he's down at about the 47-yard line. Tremaine Johnson, who caught 11 passes a week ago in the Blitz win against Washington, is upfield and down in Wrangler territory.
Johnson going down deep to run just a conventional hook. Nothing very fancy about it, but with that great speed and a good week last week, they've got to respect him over there, and Landry went with him. They run him just a little bit deeper on their hooks because of that speed and drove that corner off. The corners are a little bit loose. Landry hit him.
And a total of 20 yards. Admiral Larry coming up to make the stop for the Wranglers. It's first down Chicago at the Wrangler 47. Ricker goes in motion. The handoff, and coming outside is Kevin Long, and he's bumped hard at about the 42-yard line and driven out of bounds. And the man who hit him, Larry, is all shaken up and down on the sidelines. The Wrangler bench is directly below us on this side of the field, and as our cameras zero in, watch Landry and watch the action that results. Larry, I should say. Boy, did they come together.
Well, he took his shot as he dove in there. He tried to give him his best. He hit him just a little bit high, and that's where Long would like it. He hit him at his strength. When you take those big guys on, you got to get down around those knees.
So he's out, Larry that is, and Jones has come in to replace him now, and the gain is to the 42-yard line. 2nd and 5. Going in motion is Bud. Chicago with the ball, and the handoff, and coming back inside, Spencer on a counter inside the 40, and John Kimmel brings him down short of the first down. They'll unpile him at about the 39-yard line. They're down in 2, and the Chicago Blitz on this drive with the ball at the 39-yard line of the Wranglers, and again action in the middle of the line. First Kadich and then Nelson again, and almost in tandem they jumped at the line of scrimmage. And we've seen that at least 4 or 5 times now in this opening possession by the Blitz. Did they draw them off? No. Going to be offside against the Wranglers. And they're giving up yardage grudgingly, but they're giving up most of it via the 5-yard penalty route.
Well, you know, one of the things that a quarterback can do, and George Allen, who never misses a trick, covers every base. In the years that Billy Kilmer was playing for him at Washington, had a great ability to change that count up, and it's illegal for the quarterback to move his head a little bit to try and draw him offside, but just very little subtle techniques that give him a little advantage.
So it is first down for the Blitz now on the Wrangler 34-yard line. 3-0. Arizona leads. 22-yard field goal on their opening possession. Ricker in motion, and Landry right back over the middle. Tried to hit Buggs, threw it behind him, and indeed is quite fortunate that he wasn't picked off or intercepted.
Well, if it hadn't been high and behind him, he did have a little daylight to the inside, but as you indicated, Tom, the ball was so poorly thrown. Had it been thrown better, there was an excellent chance it could have been intercepted. So Landry changing up a little bit, throwing on first down, trying to get the Wranglers off balance, and changing up his attack.
George Allen patrolling the sidelines across the way. His team with a 2nd and 10 at the Arizona 34-yard line. Johnson is set to the left. Boy, again, you can see that Wrangler defensive line as Landry goes right down the middle. It's complete. Buggs is at the 15, down to about the 11-yard line. That might have been exactly the same play called back again, Don. They ran it much better this time, if that indeed was the case, and Walker came up to make the stop.
Well, just a little different on the replay. Landry's teaching is if they're double covered on one side, which would be Johnson, he should go back to the other. In this case, Buggs came downfield, broke inside at about 12, 13 yards. Landry spotted him, hit him right through the middle of the zone where the weakness is.
23 yards, and the deepest penetration now for the Blitz. 15-yard pickup by Buggs, and the ball is 1st and 10 at the Wrangler 11, and straight ahead long gets just about to the 10-yard line. Kadich, Nelson, Clark, Tarver, and Kimmel, the down 3 in that 3-4 defense, and the outside linebackers there to make the stop. Make it 2nd down and 9 at the 10-yard line. Make it 2nd and 8, they say, at the 10-yard line.
Well, the defensive corners have been playing soft. I would anticipate they're going to crowd up here a little bit more. You don't have as much room to work upfield as far as the receivers are concerned, so it's just a one-on-one, all-out battle.
Again, Buggs to the right, and Johnson is set to the left. And the backs are split in the pro line. Landry, the quarterback, dropping back, right over the middle. Oh, into and out of the arms of Long, who had a touchdown for sure. Nelson came in and leveled Landry, and there's a flag on the field.
Well, they brought Long out of the backfield. He is a good receiver. They circled him just a little bit late. Their responsibility, we're going to get a holding call against the Blitzes. It was on the inside. The umpire called it, and it usually is a holding call. We're going to get the replay. We'll see Long circling out of the backfield, coming into view as Landry drops back. He is open down the middle. It would not have counted anyway.
We've got Verlin Red, number 40, in. He's the new addition, and he's the last of the backs to make it a nickel defense. 2nd down and 18. The ball is back out at the Wrangler 20-yard line. Arizona leads at 3-0, and jumping into the backfield was Clark. Calvin Clark. Flags are down. Landry throws it, intercepted in the end zone. Back to the 10. 15 and 20. Verlin Red at midfield on his feet and dropped it, hold it, the 40-yard line. Verlin Red took it right out of the end zone, but flags on the play, remember, all over downfield at the line of scrimmage. And it appeared from here that Clark was definitely offside.
Well, I would say he's about 2 yards into the backfield, and you get the ground level shot of Landry in a pre-planned scramble moving out. The double coverage worked for him. An excellent play by Red.
Johnson was obviously the intended receiver, Don, but he was behind the secondary, and Landry's throw was underthrown. And, of course, Red was there to pick it off. Here's another look at it.
Well, one thing that they did do when they brought in the 5 DBs of the nickel defense, they did cover both outside field receivers, and Landry makes a mistake by trying to force it in there.
It is a penalty against Arizona, and the officials now are at the 20-yard line, which was the line of scrimmage, and Landry comes over to talk to them. Bill White is the referee.
You know, Tom, one of the things that is a perfect lesson for young people that play football, Landry knew that Clark had jumped offside and was in the backfield. He knew that he was going to get a free play. So a lot of times a quarterback will stop, particularly a young quarterback. In Landry's case, with 14 years, he took it onto the outside and took a gamble. If he'd have got the touch, it would have been for him. We get a shot at Doug Shively on the sideline, the coach of the Arizona Wranglers.
Quite frankly, the best thing the Blitz have had going for him in this drive been 5 penalties for 26 yards against the Wranglers. Arizona leads 3-0. We've got 6:10 remaining in the first period. And Landry's back to throw. Dumps it behind the intended receiver, Spencer. Threw it behind him. Got a rush. But still, even with Kadich and Tarver in on top of them, the ball was badly thrown.
Well, when the Wranglers came in with the 5 defensive backs, took out a couple of linebackers, they brought in an extra lineman to give them a little more pass rush rather than using a linebacker to come. A little bigger guy up front. They had 4 down linemen. A little heat on Landry. He felt it, tried to throw out to that left side, threw behind him.
Ricker goes out for the Chicago Blitz. Wide to the right side is Bugs. Willis is set in the slot on the right, and Johnson set to the left. Landry to throw. Going to be hit. Gets it away. In the end zone, touchdown. Great catch. And it was Willis who picked it off on a beautifully thrown ball. Under pressure, Landry got it away, and the Blitz have 6.
Well, you know, when you get a guy like Landry, it was from the blind side. That's the kind that usually stiffen your spine, but you can hear him after you've been there a while, or you can certainly smell him coming. Landry just barely got rid of the ball with Kadich breathing down his neck and spotted him down the middle, made a nice throw and a good grab.
For Landry now, that is his 3rd touchdown toss of the year and his 1st tonight. And we've got Frank Corral in now, and he's going to try the extra point. Remember, the United States Football League, you can go for 2 if you want to run or throw it. Frank Corral will try for 1. It's down. He hits it. It's up, and it is good. So we've got 6 minutes remaining here in this first period, and a nice drive of 81 yards for the Chicago Blitz, and they lead 7-3. Risher, who took his ball club on a 63-yard drive and settled for a 22-yard field goal, is straight back to throw, dumps it in the flat. Bledsoe crossing the 30 to about the 34-yard line. Up on top of him there was Joe Ehrman, stand out with Baltimore a good many years ago, a 10-year veteran of pro football out of Syracuse, 6'3", 250-pounder. Mark it at the 35. It'll be 2nd down and 5 for the Wranglers at that point. Risher had a brilliant career at Louisiana State University. A talented youngster, and he's obviously got to be just full of the jitters, or perhaps settled down a little bit now. He's making his first year as a professional football. Handoff straight ahead. Not much room there for Clark, who kind of stutter-stepped his way over the 35-yard line. Bottom of the pile was Kit Lathrop, number 70. And, of course, at the bottom of the pile also, right there with him, was Ehrman, number 74. We told you at the beginning of the show, George Allen has put together a team of 131 years of professional experience. And this is considered to be one of the very best teams in United States football. Gain of 1. It's 3rd and 4. High formation now for Risher. And they're coming in motion as Balholm back to the right side. Risher back to throw. Nice protection. Good pass. And a first down. Well thrown, and the ball caught by Balholm, and it's going to be up and around the 43, 44-yard line when the officials bring it in. I believe it was Jackie Flowers as he came to that right side, rolling just a little bit. They came in with another receiver. Flowers is probably their fastest receiver. Doug Shively says he would like to have a ball control passing type offense similar to Bill Walsh of the 49ers, and that's the way he's starting tonight. Set wide to the right side. Flowers in the slot on the right is Balholm, and the backs are set. That's Clark and Bledsoe. And handoff to Bledsoe. Boy, he ran head-on to big number 55, Jim Fonhorst, and Carl Lorch.
Barnhorst here in the middle in the 4-3. George Allen, one of the few guys that uses a 4-3 in professional football. He steps in and fills it in a hurry. He's an excellent player out of the University of Minnesota.
4 minutes exactly remaining in the first period. 7-3, the Chicago Blitz leading. We've had two lengthy drives, one of 81 yards for the Blitz to score and a Landry 15-yard touchdown toss. And Arizona went 63 yards, settling for a 22-yard field goal. Third down, big play time. Risher going to run, can't get away. Got back to the 40-yard line, and Joe Ehrman collapsed around him there. He had a lot of help, of course, as the red-shirted Blitz were there, coming up with Schwartz from the safety spot. And Risher really didn't look as though he ever intended to throw the ball, that it was going to be almost a quarterback draw from the moment the play was called.
Well, Risher gets his calls from Todd Krieger, who started a week ago. The calls are coming in from Larry Beckish, the quarterback coach, who calls them from up in the press box.
Third down and 11 now. Risher at his own 41-yard line. Sends Flowers wide to the right, Balholm to the left. He has Clark as the lone setback. Both Keel and Denfeld to bookend the line. Long count. Back to throw. Good protection. Dumps it behind the line. With it is Clark, and he is hit and dropped almost as he got it by the alert Kit Lathrop, Arizona State product. In fact, this is home turf to Lathrop, who starred here for the Sun Devils of Arizona State University. So Clark, who was the second leading rusher in the Southwest Conference, played his college ball in Texas last season, unable to get the first down, and we've got Denfeld back now. Asmus to kick, and waiting back downfield. Willis for Chicago. A high hanging kick. What a beauty. Willis at the 10. Is hit down as he crosses the 15-yard line. Nice coverage on that punt. Very good, in fact, by Boone, who was down there, and a great kick. Great hang time. With timeout, we'll be back. 7-3 Chicago leads. I'm going to have to kick it over again because it was an ineligible man downfield too soon. So Asmus hits another high one, not nearly as deep. Takes a bounce and skips out of bounds inside the Blitz 40-yard line. No return on it. Not nearly as good as the 52-yarder you saw a moment ago. But the penalty offset the good kick, and the Wranglers had to kick it away again. 7-3, Chicago taking over, and the ball will be at the Chicago 38-yard line. First down for the Blitz now, and they have the ball at their own 38-yard line. That's Bugs coming in motion. Landry throws it back to Johnson. Quick, fleet-footed Johnson, who just stepped away from the onrush of a linebacker across the way. That was Kimmel, who tried to corner him back there and couldn't. And Johnson steps out and up and over the 45, and they're going to mark him close to the 47-yard line. It's going to be a pickup of 9.
Well, that's when they take advantage of Johnson. You're going to show you the little upfield and back move, and he steps inside. It's nothing but a quick one-man screen to the wide receiver. He drives him off early in the game. Now they hit him for a nice gain.
Now Johnson is flanked wide to the left side. The Blitz moving right to left. They're in the red jerseys, and they lead 7-3. We're still in the first period here. Coming in motion is Buck. Landry hands the long. Small opening, slips up to the 50-yard line and maybe to the 49. Tackled in there by big number 72. That's Joe Peters, Arizona State Sun Devil product. 6'4", 271-pounder. He's a rookie. We're making the stop on long.
We're getting a fair amount of motion out of the slot men either way, usually Bugs. The purpose of that, they know that Aaron Mitchell, who is essentially the strong safety for the Wranglers, will run with him. It'll change the strength of the offense, and then they'll come back the other way.
Kevin Long, in his National Football League career, had an outstanding one with the New York Jets. Might have been encroachment at the line of scrimmage. The handoff to Spencer drops just as he gets to the line of scrimmage. There to hit him very hard and very quickly. Big number 53, Perkins, along with Benapuna, the linebackers. Here's
Spencer coming in has a little opening for a moment, tries to veer to his left to avoid one blocker, but the linebacker fills it in such a hurry, tackles him absolutely perfect. He put his headgear on the numbers and stiffed him on the spot. No easy task against the running back with the strength and speed of Spencer.
We've come to the end of the first period here at Sun Devil Stadium in Tempe, Arizona. And they'll be changing sides of the field. The end of the first period, Chicago 7, Arizona 3. 7-3, Chicago leads, and the Blitz has the football at the Wrangler 49. Admiral Dewey Larry is back in at the cornerback spot. We're happy to report you saw him get shaken up in a head-on collision with Kevin Long.
Well, the Blitz got a little break on that short hit by Asmus of 28 yards. He averaged 36 yards last week, so he's hurt him a little bit.
Johnson, along with Buggs, flanked wide to the right side. Landry, the quarterback, has the back split. He's back to throw, gets a rush, gets hit, drops the ball. Arizona's recovered. The ball will be with the Wranglers on the Blitz 42-yard line.
Well, you got to say one thing. The Blitz were coming. They had those inside linebackers looping around. They got some pressure to the inside. Clark got some pressure from the outside and got the sack, so they got some heat on Landry. We anticipated a lot of blitzing, and we get the first big turnover of the football game.
So the turnover gives the ball to the Wranglers on the Chicago 42-yard line.
He's got the tight end open as we go back to the replay. He fights out of there in good fashion, turns it upfield when he gets to the sideline, but it doesn't do him any good.
So young Alan Risher takes over, trailing 7-3. The ball on the Chicago 42-yard line. See if he can turn the break into some points. Clark trying to turn the corner at the 40, banged out of bounds at the 37. Virgil Livers came over, and coming up also from his safety spot was Schwartz to make the stop on Clark.
Chicago in that conventional 4-3 that time. They have been changing up that front line, shifting it one way or the other, overs or under type looks, moving the linebacker either to the strong or weak side. When they do that, on occasion, you will see the quarterback, Risher, probably automatic and go at the stand-up linebacker.
Other United States Football League action tonight, Michigan and Tampa Bay. Down in Tampa Bay, they're deadlocked, 7-7 at halftime. The ball is at the 38-yard line, a gain of 4, second down and 6. Play action fake, and Risher rolling, throws on the move. Nobody there.
Well, Risher got away
with heavy pressure. Yeah, Lortz, Carl Lortz, the veteran out of USC, number 71, chased him across the field.
He really got away with it, Tom, because he did not have a receiver in that area. Conceivably, it could have been called for intentional grounding. He had the outside man going deep. But he is quick to get out of that pocket. I'm sure that comes from really just his background at LSU, where he did run the football a lot. And rather than stand in there, as well as being maybe a little bit intimidated by that rush of the Chicago Blitz, he really didn't have to run that time. He could have stepped up inside, and he put himself in a little bit of trouble.
We've got Eddie Brown, the all-pro veteran, coming into the ball game. Risher is 6 of 8 for 47 yards. Bonhorst has been taken out of the Chicago defensive alignment now. Third down and long. Risher to throw, has time upfield. It is complete at the 25-yard line. Balholm made the stop, and the Blitz arguing that it was not complete. Balholm says, "Oh yes, gentlemen." So do the fellows with the striped shirts. Well, despite the protestations of Eddie Brown, it'll be first down Wranglers on the Chicago 25.
Well, a good job by Risher, a good job by the offensive line. We're going to get it again. Balholm just going downfield. He was double covered. He ran a hook. He uncovered from the short man, and they claim he trapped it when he hit the ground. The Blitz using 5 defensive backs.
Flowers is set wide to the right side. Keel set to the left. Balholm in the slot on the right. First down for the Wranglers on the Chicago 25. Bledsoe straight ahead gets hit as he crosses the 25, carries to the 23. Smith was in from his linebacker spot to hit Bledsoe and drop him. A gain of 2. It'll be second and 8. 7-3, Chicago leads. Now they've marked it inside the 24. 15-yard touchdown toss. Landry to Willis. Got the Blitz on the board, climaxing an 81-yard drive after the Wranglers had taken their first possession and gone downfield for a 22-yard field goal. Now we'll see if Arizona can turn this fumble recovery into points. Oh, a big rush, and Risher is going to be swarmed under, and dropped as in very, very quickly was Joe Ehrman. and Junior Ayu, big number 77. And Risher really had no chance. Just caught red-handed, so to speak, and dropped for a loss of 8 at the 31.
I believe they were setting up reverse that time. They had brought in Jackie Flowers. He is their fastest outside receiver. He was coming back that way, but with the pressure and the penetration by the defensive club of the Chicago Blitz, they never had a chance to get the handoff, and Risher did the smart thing. He just kept it and went to the ground with a little help.
We're just under 13 minutes remaining in this first half, and Risher looks over that Blitz defense and wants to come to the bench and talk things over. So as Risher comes over, his team is trailing. The Blitz leads 7-3 in the second period.
Well, it is, and he did the right thing. He took a timeout, didn't like the play call, didn't like the defense. He has third down situation, a little bit closer. He's got a pop at a field goal, so he went to the sidelines.
Flowers wide to the right, and the give is to the fullback, and straight ahead, Howell is inside the 25 to the 22-yard line. Not a first down, but all in all, not a bad call.
A little bit of trickery at that point. He went to Howell. Howell's been in there for a couple of series now. Howell on the draw play. Caught him a little off balance. Comes up the middle, breaks outside to his left, breaks one tackle, and picks up a nice gain to put him in that field goal position. They had brought Howell in, who is bigger than Clark at 6'2", 228, for a little more firepower, and he came through for him right there.
Figure will hold. It'll be a 39-yard field goal try by Asmus, who hit a 22-yarder to get the Wranglers on the board in the opening possession. He missed a couple of weeks ago and now has a chance to go 2 for 2. 39-yard try. Remember, they've got a kicking tee out there that's 1 inch up in the air that will give him some help. It's kind of a line drive, and he hooks it, and it's wide to the left. No good. So Asmus, who changed his jersey from 13 to 16, is 1 for 2. 7-3 Chicago. We'll be back. The Blitz taking over now. First down at their own 22. On the sweep to the left, turning the corner is Spencer at the 25, 30, out of bounds, leaving a trail of white jerseyed Wranglers in his wake. Admiral Larry missed him, but he just ran out of running room, did Spencer. And he carries up to the 35-yard line for a pickup of 13, and that may be as long a gain as we've had tonight from the line of scrimmage.
Well, they've been running inside. That time, the little belly series, faking to the fullback, pull the left guard. The fullback would replace him, picking up the lineman in that area. And then with that good speed, he got the good blocking in front. He turned the corner and zooped up that sideline.
High formation for the Blitz now. First down on their own 35. Landry pitching back to Spencer, sweeping to the short side, and does a little toe dance, flag down, and thrown by the referee, or the umpire, I should say, and it could be against the Chicago Blitz. Could be a clip, could be an illegal block. They're pointing back in the direction of the Blitz backfield. Stevenson was there to make the stop. Now, Stevenson might have been the guy guilty of the infraction. Going to be holding. That's going to be the call. Stevenson trying to throw the block to enable Spencer to turn the corner and got just a little over-enthusiastic about it.
Well, again, the Blitz trying to utilize that speed on the outside. They do have better team speed than the Wranglers do. They had not run outside up to this point, other than when the back might have veered that way. We're getting the call from Bill White.
First down.
And it is back to first down and a 15-yard penalty, so a little break there for the Wranglers. We're going to get a replay on it. There's, it's actually a little more of a
right there. Yeah, he almost tried to kick his feet out from underneath them, the man being Tarver, a linebacker who was chasing Spencer. They brought it back to the Blitz 22-yard line. Willis is in, and Bugs is out.
5 DBs.
Landry, the quarterback at his own 22, is back to throw. Dumps it behind the line to Spencer. A little bit of a screen. Spencer crosses the 25. Chased over there by Joe Peters and by Admiral Larry, combining to make the stop. Mark his progress upfield to the 28-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 6. 7-3, Chicago leads. The Wranglers scored first, 63-yard drive with a 22-yard field goal. Back came the Blitz, 81 yards. Landry to Willis, a 15-yard touchdown toss. Then a fumble recovery by Arizona and a chance to put some points on the board. But a 39-yard field goal try by Asmus was long enough but hooked badly. So it's 7-3 and the Blitz with the football now on their own 28-yard line. Spencer and Long, the backs are split. Oh, my. Jumping over the line of scrimmage was Ben Afuna. I don't know whether he was drawn across or not, Don, but boy, he was coming like a runaway car, wasn't he?
Well, the linebackers on the inside in the particular defense that Shively uses, they set pretty deep, about 5 yards, deeper than most people will, and they try and time their blitz with the quarterback's snap count. Both linebackers were coming that time, and Landry being very smart. You know, you get a feel as a quarterback. You're up there, you see those linebackers sort of frothing at the mouth, and their eyes water just a little bit. And when they're going to come, they're going to go, and you know it. I would have to think is changing that count up, and very smartly. We get it again on the replay. We see, in this case, as he comes across, and at this point, it gives the Blitz a little better situation.
The penalties unofficially, we've got 36 yards against Arizona. They've all been of that type, I might add. Encroachment, offside, over-enthusiasm. Here's Landry walking him up now to the line of scrimmage. 5 of 7, and that 15-yard touchdown toss. He's got 73 yards through the air. Landry's got 3 touchdowns in the young season already. He had 2 a week ago. Oh, my. Looks like the tight end was way offside. Ricker, there's the pass by Landry, thrown off the field of play. Again, the mark of an old pro. Landry was not going to leave anything up to chance. If indeed he saw it as we did, that Ricker, his tight end, had just gone beyond the line of scrimmage long before the snap. He wasn't about to give the Wranglers a chance to pick one off.
No, he certainly wasn't. He put that one way over his head, just throwing it away, really. He knew that his tight end had jumped at that point. Now we're going to get that probably 5 yards back. And really, as the club's a little bit anxious here tonight, we mentioned that there are some hard feelings between these two groups. Both of them very aggressive, particularly Arizona on defense, where they have... Here we get the call.
Baseline.
They're declining it. They could go to third down since they went through the play.
It's going to be third down, and the ball comes back to the 33-yard line. We'll be back in just a bit. 7-3, Chicago leads. Chicago leads Arizona. The ball is at the Blitz 34-yard line, and we've got a 3rd and 12 coming up.
Well, they put Todd Campbell in as a nose tackle for Bob Nelson. Now they have 4 defensive linemen, Nelson having been the guy that was jumping offside earlier. That time, Campbell has been holding in there very well. It was Afuna, the linebacker, that made the play.
10:44 as you see the time remaining here in this, the first half, and Chicago leading. And the ball is at the Blitz 34, and Landry with nice protection. Back to throw. Pumps once, now going to run with it. And he is pulled down, brought down, as he got back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. Maybe, in fact, losing a yard by Nelson. Did the ball slip out of his hand down as he went to throw it, or did he just not see anybody open all of a sudden?
Well, they had 5 defensive backs. They did a good job covering everybody down there. Landry not wanting to take a chance. Nelson in with the 4 defensive linemen came out from the right side. They moved him over there rather than on the center where he had been previously playing in that odd front, and he made amends that trip.
Corral is back to kick, and Jones is waiting for the ball, standing at the Wrangler 25-yard line. So this Wrangler defense has stymied the Chicago Blitz, save for that one long drive of 81 yards by Landry. The Wranglers have just about outplayed the Chicago ball club. Good kick by Corral, although Jones takes it at the 35. Oh, tried to get away and was hit by about the only red shirt down in that area. Willis was down there very quickly in field. So the Wranglers take over. Chicago leads 7-3. We're in the second period with 9:59 remaining here in this first half, and the Wranglers will take over first down on their own 32-yard line.
We're getting
down
a score
south,
here.
In Tampa Bay, 10-7. Excuse me, Don. Michigan leading Tampa Bay 10-7 in that ball game being played at Tampa Bay. Risher, the quarterback, has him in the I formation. Both Balholm and Flower flank to the left. Risher goes the other way, complete. Caught by his tight end Keel. at the 45-yard line, and coverage on the play by Schwartz across the way, but a very well-thrown ball and well caught by the tight end.
Well, that's the thing Risher does so well. Really, if he has a strength in his throwing, it is his timing. He does not have a strong arm. Here they go to the tight end, Keel. They use him on the outside. He just comes down, makes a hook, has good speed for his size. He'll run a 4.7 40, and for a man as big as he is, that's excellent.
Bledsoe is in, along with Howell as the running backs. Balholm is flanked wide to the left. Coming in motion is Flowers. The delay and the handoff, and not much there. Trying to go straight ahead was Howell on that little delay, and middle of that Chicago line. Stan White was there, among others, waiting for him.
And Jim Bonhorst was right on top of it. That's normally his responsibility to handle that fullback on the draw. Here's we see Keel, the tight end, doing a good job sealing off the linebacker to his side. And on the tail end, he stays right with it, and a little bit of shoving.
Well, that was Ed Smith, number 56, played his college ball at Vanderbilt. They had more than just a howdy-do to say to each other after all of that. Second down. The ball is at the 45-yard line. 2nd and 10. Wranglers trailing 7-3. Risher going to run it? Yeah. At midfield and dives at the 48-yard line. And Bonhorst was right there. Smith and White. And that's a trio you wouldn't want to invite to any kind of a special party, especially if you had something they wanted, like a football.
Well, we indicated earlier that Risher is smart, and he has learned quickly that you survive better by getting on the ground. It looks like he needs to work on his hook slide just a little bit, but it worked.
Just a little. Shively would have liked to have him hook it about another 3 yards. He'd have the first down.
But that's why he got him in there, because he is the mobile guy we said he was. He's 8 for 10 so far for 72 yards. Very impressive for a rookie.
Now we've got Denfeld, number 85, in as well, as Bledsoe has come out of the backfield now, and going in motion is Keel. Big third down play for the young quarterback. Rolling, throwing, it is caught. Nice grab. Out of bounds at the 36-yard line. Catch made by Balholm, and a first down for the Wranglers.
Well, I want to tell you, he put an excellent move out there on the corner. He went downfield. He had run several hooks to set him up. That time, he put the move to the outside, just a sideline move. The defensive back was totally out of position, did not play it well. Actually, Risher could have probably run for the first down, but he hit him and got the first out of it.
So he picks up a total of 12 on the play that he only needed 3. First down at the 36-yard line. Risher has one lone setback now for the first down, and he hands off and straight ahead. Howell banging in there very hard. Hit by junior Ayu as he got to the line of scrimmage. Well, mark his forward progress inside the 35 and set it very close to the 32-yard line.
You see on the replay, Ayu falls back into it. Lathrop doing a good job in there. Ayu, the 10-year veteran, as was mentioned, very quick.
And, of course, Schwartz coming up from the safety spot, number 28. 2nd and 6 at the 32-yard line. Blitz leading 7-3, and the Wranglers trying to get a touchdown now, and points on the board. Bledsoe straight ahead to the 30. Got a couple tackled by Ed Smith. This possession started on the 32, and they've moved now down to the Chicago 30-yard line.
Well, we mentioned on that last drive that Asmus missed the field goal that would have put it at 7-6. A week ago, they went into the halftime 7-0 down to Oakland, where they had missed a couple of field goals, and you never know when that momentum's going to change. It could be very easily 7-6 at this stage. Doug Shively had a little chat with Asmus on the sideline. Said, look, we better get it together. We're going to find out. You might get a road map and an apple out of here.
Risher is 9 of 11 for 85 yards, and he wants a timeout now with 6:29 remaining in this first half. He's coming over to talk to Coach Shively and the rest of the staff on the near sidelines. The score, Chicago 7, the Wranglers 3. Ball is at the 31-yard line. Flowers comes in motion. Risher straightens up, sideline, great grab and catch by Balholm. He's got the first down inside the 25. Oh, what a nice fingertip grab, Don Heinrich.
It was an excellent grab. That's 2 in a row over to that side on Virgil Livers, who a veteran, but both corners playing pretty far off, and young Alan Risher effectively moving his football club. When they're going to play 7 or 8 or 9 yards off, he's taking advantage of it. First he goes with the hooks. Now he's gone to the sidelines.
There's Stan White, who started in 142 consecutive pro games. All-time outstanding linebacker coming over from Detroit to play for the Blitz. First down at the 22-yard line now. Risher with a nice drive going straight ahead. Howell just bulled his way inside the 20-yard line. You can see Junior IU number 77. That's Schwartz, 28 at the bottom of the pile. Kit Lathrop was there as well.
Pretty good hard running on the inside that time again. The Wranglers, as they've moved in there deeper, they have gone to that two tight end offense. They've moved Falcon, who got a good block on that off that left side. We're going to get the replay. There's nothing fancy. He's just slanting off the left side, zone blocking and power running.
And the ball moves to the 17-yard line. Second down and 5 now. In motion is Keel, big tight end, blue finger. Risher rolling to his left. Gonna run it. 15. Jumps out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Boy, nice quick little move by Risher. He who runs and jumps away lives to play another day, Don Heinrich?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I mentioned earlier that Doug Shively said that he wanted to incorporate the type of offense that Bill Walsh has. And to do that, you need a highly intelligent quarterback. He has that in Risher, as well as being mobile. He wants the kind of guy that Montana has been for Bill Walsh. And they have changed up the formation. They have created some problems for that veteran defensive club of the Blitzes, and Risher is now 10 for 12 for 93 yards.
We've got too many men in the field. Somebody's going to have to get off, and they're going to have to, I think, call a timeout. Yes, unfortunately, timeout taken by the Wranglers as Balholm had come on the field, and he tried to get Flowers to come off, and there was some confusion. It results still in third down and a yard to go for Risher and company.
He took the timeout. He did not want to waste it as they are at 5:32 here in the second quarter. He'd like to keep that clock moving, keep the ball away from the Chicago Blitz. Now they're in the short yardage with third and about 1.5 yards, possibly 2. And a very good possibility at this stage, rather than trying to run for it against a tough Chicago Blitz defense, we could see the option rolling type move by Risher from one side to the other and looking for either a receiver or pulling it down and keeping it.
I'll be interested to see if he runs it now. He's got two big backs in, Clark and Howell, and two tight ends, Denfeld and Keel, and he's going to run it. Oh, bobbles on the snap, the bounce, the ball is loose, and apparently Chicago has recovered. Well, trying to maintain possession of the football and hang on to it was Clark, and he just never did get the ball from Risher. And the crowd comes up more than a bit unhappy.
We get the replay on it. It's just a weak side pitch. They pull the guard to get out in front of it. The pitch was there. He should have had it. Probably a little anxious looking upfield, but there's no reason to drop that football. That's exactly when you've got to have that concentration and know what the yardage is. There it is.
And the trouble with all of it is that for the Wranglers, that Chicago recovers. So they would have had one more crack at it. Fourth down and maybe 1 yard or 2 to go. And now the ball goes to the 16, and it is 1st and 10, Chicago. Landry leading 7-3. The Wranglers have been turned aside, missing the field goal, and now this opportunity. Spencer on the sweep left, turns the corner, and is driven out of bounds at the 20-yard line. Over there on defense, Benapuna played his college football right here on this field at Arizona State. Big guy, 6'2", 238 pounds.
Well, it's obvious that they're trying to get Spencer outside, as we talked about. They want to get big plays out of both Spencer and Tremaine Johnson, now trying to utilize that speed of Spencer, and they're not getting any force by the defensive club of the Arizona Wranglers. In most cases, it's going to be a corner. Sometimes it's going to be a linebacker, but they aren't getting it. They're going to have to shut them down.
Second down and 6. Link to the right side is Buggs, and now Buggs goes in motion. Landry has the back split. Hands off to Spencer, and a bit of a counter gets piled up behind the line. Very good play by Jones, number 43, who really came in and disrupted the flow of everything in the Blitz backfield, Don.
Well, that's what we're talking about, getting that kind of force. It was going to be a long trap. They pulled the left guard. You'll see the left guard, 73, pulling. He gets penetration to knock him off, and then the quick force and the pursuit that gets into the play, and, of course, drops him for the short loss.
Third down and 8 as the ball goes back to the 18-yard line. You see Spencer walking up to the line of scrimmage. 7 carries, 26 yards. is split. Chicago with a 7-3 lead, and Landry to throw, comes to Spencer. At the 20. 25, head down, carries it out close to the 30, and has the first down on the little swing coming out of the backfield. Jones, the quarterback, to make the stop.
Spencer just a kind of a circle wide type of a move. We'll see him coming here. The Wranglers had a double twist with the lineman in there. He beats the defensive end who tried to fall off, gets the catch, turns it upfield, and the defensive back didn't make a form tackle. He did not wrap the arms. He went with a little block tackle on that. Call that a little bit of self-preservation. A guy like Spencer, you might just bounce off.
Trumaine Johnson is flanked to the near side of the field. Wide to the left side is Bud. First down at the 28. Landry again coming to Spencer out of the backfield, and this time he's over the 30 and unceremoniously dumped into the Wranglers sidelines, and one of the Wranglers is hurt. Down on the field, Jones shaken up. Clark was there to drive him out. Jones is up and coming off the field, being helped off almost in the arms of head coach Doug Scheibling. The gain is over the 30 to the 32-yard line.
Well, Jones comes back on contain. The linebacker didn't get there. Landry, seeing the opening, did not take or waste any time. He quickly dumped it out. Jones got beat a couple of times last week. That isn't necessarily his responsibility. In that short zone, he's the one that does have to contain, but he doesn't have individual coverage.
Willis is in and goes in motion. He caught the 15-yard touchdown pass from Landry, and Landry may go to him again. No, it goes to Trumaine Johnson, who just couldn't quite get enough of the football to trap it, and he was met and spun around by the defense of the Wranglers and shaken up, and Wilcox seems to be down on the field and shaken up at the 43-yard line and slow to get up.
Well, Tommy Wilcox probably had the best game of any of the Wranglers a week ago in that loss, 24-0, whether it be offense or defense. He made a lot of tackles. He was all over the field, and he knows that when they run a quick post or a slant type of a move where Trumaine Johnson comes down 5 or 6 yards and then breaks it on a 45-degree angle to the inside, that while he might not get to the ball, he's going to make him pay for it. In this instance, Wilcox paid for it. By the same token, Trumaine Johnson is going back to the huddle and saying to Landry, I don't care if you've been there for 14 years. Get that ball down around the numbers of the belt buckle. Don't hang me out to dry, because the next time I might get cut in half.
4:21 is the time remaining in this first half. 7-3 Chicago leads. It's been kind of a tough evening so far on the defensive secondary for the Wranglers. Now with Wilcox down and obviously in pain. Earlier we had Admiral Larry shaken up on a very hard tackle at the sidelines. Jones has been shaken up. In fact, he went off just a moment ago. So as Tommy Wilcox is now sitting up, and the trainer is asking him, first of all, his name. Does he know where he is? What day is it? And apparently he's all right. He's up now and coming off under his own power. Tough kid out of Alabama.
He is a tough kid. You know, he doesn't have great speed or range back there, but he plays smart. He gets a good jump on the ball. He takes good angles to get to the football, and he is not reluctant to hit, as indicated that time, despite the fact that he came off second best.
Red comes in to replace him, number 40. Now Wilcox wants to go back on the field. Perkins came on a moment ago also. Walker is in at one of the cornerback spots. Larry is at the other one. Mitchell is one of the safeties, and Red has come in to play the other safety spot, though Wilcox wants to get back on the field.
Well, that's the kind of guy he is. You can't keep him out of there. He wants to play every down.
2nd and 6. The ball is at the 32-yard line. 7-3 Chicago leads. So the Wranglers have had a couple of scoring opportunities just get away.
Looks like too much time. Yes, indeed. And the old pro let it count down on him. The 30-second clock got him.
Well, George Allen will worry the Wrigley across the way on that one. George will be up and down the sidelines pacing like a caged cat.
Well, I think he'll
delay a game.
He'll probably have a little something to say at the halftime. They've had some miscues out there that is very unlike a George Allen football team. They've made some mistakes periodically. They've jumped offside, done a few things in that direction, got caught for holding. That's going to happen on occasion. But George Allen likes to play as air-free a football as he possibly can, and they did that just a week ago in beating Washington.
Bugs wide to the left. In the slot on the left side is Willis. To the right side is Johnson. Landry with the ball at his own 27 now, on a 2nd down and 11. Back to throw, gets a rush, far side, had his man, oh my. Flag, pass interference. You could see it coming. Johnson, the intended receiver, I check it, not Johnson, but Bugs, the intended receiver, And Admiral Larry, I'm afraid, got caught either face guarding him or actually pushing him away. At any rate, the flag, though it came a bit late, pass interference.
Well, it was a marginal call at that point. Larry did have him screened. He had his back to him in most instances, and we are far removed from that field, so we don't have that kind of an angle to determine whether or not he actually did obscure his vision or push him at that point. You could not see him pushing.
Larry's having a big conversation with the side judge over there, trying to plead his case to no avail, I might add. Bill White, the official, is going to march off. Oh, my, they're calling that a very flagrant one, aren't they?
Well, they are, and, you know, this is really going to hurt the Wranglers. It was third and about 11 yards. It keeps this drive alive with just 4:13 to go, moves it to the 42-yard line, and it gives them just a little bit of a lift and 3 more downs.
15 yards was the walk-off. And, of course, the automatic first down that goes with it. Now Shively, walking up and down the sidelines, did not like the call. That's quite obvious. Don't have to read his lips. The gesture was enough. 4:19, time remaining. First half, 7-3. The Blitz leading, and they've got a new lease on life. Spencer on the sweep. Can he turn the corner? Got a block. Oh, what a great play. I tell you, number 56, Tarver, played that as beautifully as a linebacker could. He fought off the block and turned everything back inside and made the stop. What a great play.
Well, he did, Tom, and there's no doubt about it. The good pursuit helped him get there. You'll see it again. But you got Admiral Larry on the corner, who makes an excellent force to turn it inside. You see 73 coming in to turn it up, but all the rest of the club coming that way. That's been 8 penalties for 51 yards against Arizona. Because of their aggressiveness, they're normally going to get more penalties. That time, it paid off by the extra hustle.
And a loss of a yard. Second down and 11 with 3:30 to go. Blitz leading 7-3, and Landry's back to throw. Downfield complete. Caught by his tight end, Ricker. And he's off his pins, very close to first down territory. Jones was there to make the stop. Red over as well to help out. We'll see where the officials mark it. Boy, they may have to bring the chain up to measure that. It's at about the 48-yard line.
There's an interesting story on Ricker there, Tom. He's out of little Norwich University, a score coming in. Tampa Bay ahead 16-7 in the third quarter. And Norwich University is the oldest military school in the country, located up in Vermont. He was cut on February the 20th. And then Dave Parks, the old great receiver from the 49ers and the New Orleans Saints, who was in camp working a little bit with the receivers. He wants to get into coaching. He just left last week to go back to Texas. He went to George Allen. He said, George, I think this kid, even though you cut him, he's been handicapped a little bit. He's had some muscle pulls. He isn't playing at full strength. And you ought to watch him a little longer or try and bring him back. So they did re-sign him. They felt that Tim Reitman, who has been out, one of their high choices out of UCLA, is going to continue to be out. And Ricker has come in to do an excellent job. Got a second chance, and he's making the most of it.
Well, they're just inches shy of that first down as you see Bill White meticulously mark the football. It's just short of the 48-yard line of the Wranglers. This possession for Chicago started on the fumble recovery. Remember the aborted 3rd and 1 try by the Wranglers at the 16-yard line? Well, that's where Chicago took over. And now they've got the ball with a 3rd down and inches to go on the Wrangler 48-yard line. Posen is in now at the tight end spot. He's number 84. For Chicago, Bugs is set as the wingback on the right side, set in very tight. Kevin Long going to go outside, got the first down and then some. 45-40. Wilcox, the last man there, fought him off and managed to knock him out of bounds on or around the 30-yard line. And one of the Wranglers shaken up on the play, Admiral Larry, coming off the field. Kind of all bent over double, but a very good play by Wilcox to save what could have been a touchdown dash.
Here we get the replay on it. Starts that weak side slant, and which will happen so often in short yardage. They design it to go over the tackle. That's where the blocking is, and it wasn't there. He alertly takes it on the outside. No contain. Big first down.
25 yards on 3 carries for Kevin Long now, and the Blitz driving from the 16 to the 30, and there's Long breaking a tackle, breaks another. Finally, gang tackle just short of the 25-yard line. Going to make the stop, Wilcox again, and Aaron Mitchell coming up from his safety spot to help out as well. Boy, you talk about a tough kid. As you look over Risher's shoulder looking onto the field, that Wilcox looked like he was going out on a stretcher, and he's right back in there making key tackles for the Wranglers.
Saved an even bigger game at that point. a good job of running, made one lineman miss, and then broke it back to the inside. But Wilcox, coming up quickly, made the play.
The ball is at the 26, not as the scoreboard says, the 34. It's at the 26-yard line of the Wranglers. It is second down and a long 5. Back to throw. Landry dumps it. With it is Spencer. He's at the 20. Hit by Ben Apuna and carried out of bounds. Mitchell to help out and be at about the 17-yard line.
Well, Landry with a little bit of heat on him. Again, alertly recognizing, did not figure on even trying to go upfield. He's going to dump it off and did.
And Landry is asking now, we've got the 2-minute warning as Spencer walks back to the huddle and Landry goes over to talk to George Allen. We're under 2 minutes, minute 56 remaining in this first half. Chicago on the drive, and the Blitz leads the Arizona Wranglers 7-3. There's Greg Landry, and goes back for one final word with George Allen across the way. And Ray Tucker, now he comes out. 13 attempts, 9 completions, 104 yards, and that touchdown toss was a 15-yarder to Willis.
Well, and a costly turnover by the Wranglers is on 3rd and short. They went to the pitch to the outside, fumbled the ball. Chicago taking over on their 16 and threatening here with just less than 2 minutes to go.
Bugs is to the right side. Tremaine Johnson set to the left. The backs are Long and Spencer, and the give is to Long on the sweep. He is hit, breaks the tackle, 15, and steps out of bounds. In there was Perkins, number 53, who hit him and couldn't hang on. And again, it was Wilcox who had to come up from a safety spot to save the day.
Well, one thing the Wranglers would like to do at this stage, obviously, is keep the blitz out of the end zone. It would give them just a little bit of momentum to maybe have to make the blitz settle for 3 points rather than get the 7. But Chicago, very alertly on this drive, has frequently, with some of their younger people recognizing the time element, not wanting to waste timeouts, have gotten to the sidelines, out of bounds, stopped the clock.
So the ball is at the 13-yard line now. Willis is in, caught that touchdown pass earlier. Johnson set to the left and Willis to the right. Landry looking at Willis again on the slant in. Had it, bobbled it, dropped it, it's on the turf. Oh, he had touchdown all over it. And Willis just couldn't hang on to that one. And Landry had him picked out again. Walker was there on defense.
And give credit to Walker as he did an excellent job to help Willis not hang on to that football. It was that quick post. Here we get to see it again. Probably the toughest play in football to cover, the quick post. But he closed it in a hurry, played it perfectly. You say the receiver should hang on. This is true. But he took a nice shot to the ribs, stiffened his spine, and he dropped it.
So we've got a 3rd down now for Landry and company at the 13-yard line. Oh, my. Jumping offside again was Nelson. Bob Nelson, who opened the ball game with a series of encroachment penalties against the defense, has done it again, it would appear, in his anticipation, overeagerness, whatever. And it's going to be a walk-off against the Wranglers, and in this all-important red zone area, it is tough to give up yardage that way. 9 penalties, 56 yards against Arizona. The ball comes inside the 10, mark it at the 9-yard line now, and it's going to be 3rd down and no more than a yard to go for a first down, and they're 9 away from the score.
3rd down.
Got a minute 46 remaining here in this first half, 7-3, the Blitz lead, and Chicago looking to improve that advantage. Backs are split. 2 tight ends to bookend the line. Spencer on the sweep, but he turned the corner. No. Oh, what great pursuit. Really great effort. Nelson was there along with number 56 Carver, and everybody then came up. That's a great defensive effort by this young Wrangler team.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Here you see it again as the little dip move. He takes it up the middle, moves to the outside. Admiral Larry helping force, getting good contained, good pursuit. And they stop him for about a 4.5 yard loss. So it looks like the Blitz will have to try and settle for the field goal. It could be a little bit of a morale lift for the Arizona Wranglers.
It'll be a 30-yard try for Frank Corral. It's Hagel, the ex-Notre Damer quarterback, to hold at the 20. Corral hits it. And it's good. So Frank adds 3 more to the total for Chicago. And with 1:37 remaining here in the first half, the Blitz have marched from their own 16-yard line, settling for a 30-yard field goal, and they lead now 10-3. A long drive, a time-consuming one, and for this young Wrangler football team, some consolation in the fact that deep in their territory, their defensive line, young and aggressive, managed to rise up and throw aside that blitz attack and force them to settle for 3. George Allen, who has never had a losing season with the Rams and with the Washington Redskins, we will kind of show you a chronicle of his great career. 8-6 and 66. That's L.A. figures, of course. He's over there busy talking to young football players, and one not so young. That's Stan White, his defensive captain, number 52. 15 plays, 71 yards, took 3:47 off the clock for the Blitz to drive downfield and settle for that field goal by that man, Frank Corral.
Well, you know, Tom, in George's long career, 12 years at Los Angeles and Washington, he is a 70% winner, and he does. While he goes with defense, he likes that offense. Last week they held the ball for almost 39 minutes.
We've got Murray in blue, and the kick is coming to Blue's side. Takes a convenient bounce. Well, not so convenient. Past him in the end zone. He'll touch it down, and the ball will come out to the 20. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 20 for Risher and company. And we'll see if the young quarterback just out of LSU can put any kind of a drive together with 1:37 remaining here in the first half. Remember, with every first down in the closing 2 minutes of the first half and in the 4th period, why, the clock stops and the ball is marked and then ready for play, so that there can be no hue and cry about seconds having drifted away, losing some precious moments, what have you. At the 20, first down, Risher trailing now 10-3. Delay, hands off. Bledsoe squirms for just a bit. Stan White now calls for a timeout. Stan wants to stop the clock.
Well, they feel that if they use their timeouts judiciously, they could force the Wranglers to have to punt it. They would get excellent field position. And here's the scoring drive, as you mentioned earlier, 15 plays, 71 yards, time of possession, 3:47. Corral finishing it off with the 30-yard field goal. Arizona has had good position, essentially, in this football game. This is their poorest to this stage of the game. They've started on their 32, their 31, their 42, and their 33. But that last kickoff, bounding around back there, had to be down in the end zone, so they have to start at the 20. Arizona going a little bit conservative at this stage. They don't want to have to give up that ball. They don't want to put it in the air and possibly get an interception or give the Blitz an opportunity. But White, very quickly, who calls the defensive signals? And it's interesting, the Blitz, Landry calls all of his own offensive plays. White calls all of the defense, a trait of George Allen, to have his linebacker. He has people that come in. He calls them his generals.
A couple of old rivals there. Hugh Campbell of the Express and Ray Yock of the Washington Federals had great success in the Canadian League. They'll be at each other again. Risher getting a rush, rolling away, upfield, pass complete to Bledsoe. Sidelines 30, 35, 38-yard line up to the 40. Oh, Risher, fleet of foot. Nothing like young legs in this game, and Risher proved that again.
Well, you talked about young legs, Tom, and not only that, he read that defense. The Blitz had covered it perfectly. They had him covered on the swing. They're going quickly to the shotgun. They do employ a little bit of it to take advantage of the timeout.
Now a shotgun. Smith made the stop. Risher back to throw. Fires, and it's caught. 45, 47-yard line. And the pass is complete to Bledsoe again, and over on the stop was Sponhorst. And I tell you, this is quite a 2-minute drill the Wranglers have got going. The ball with 1 minute and 2 seconds remaining in the half is at the 47-yard line. Second down, shotgun again, and Risher to throw. Being rushed, throws, caught, sidelines, out of bounds. It's complete. We'll stop the clock. The pass is caught by Balholm at the Blitz 42-yard line.
And they say guys without great speed can't play in this football game. But I'll tell you what, he's given Livers just a little bit of a lesson over there as he made a great move to the sideline. You see him again. He breaks to the outside. He's got the defensive back all over him. But with great concentration, he not only catches the ball, but gets out of bounds to stop the clock. They had to utilize a couple of timeouts early, so I believe they have just one now. So they'd like to save that to try and get their field goal team in if they get that close.
Wide to the right side is Flowers. Keel is in. Risher back to throw. Steps up. Gets hit. Ball is loose. Was it a fumble or a pass attempt? They're going to call it a forward pass attempt, and it'll go as an incompletion. Well, the Chicago Blitz don't like it too well, but Wrangler fans, and they're in the predominance here at Sun Devil Stadium, they like the call.
Well, I don't think there was any doubt that he had forward motion. It was a bad judgment on Risher's part at that stage. He was on heavy traffic, and he tried to get that arm free and throw it. He did have it moving forward, so he saved the down, but it could have been disastrous. They don't need a whole lot more to get into field goal range.
Well, they've had a 39-yard try by Asmus go wide. They do have a 22-yard field goal by Asmus. Remember, they fumbled on the Blitz 16-yard line. They have come away empty too many times, but they're still struggling. They trail 10-3. Shotgun. Risher gives the ball to Bledsoe on the track at the 40, 35-30, down to the 25-24-yard line. The clock will stop as they move the chains with 39 seconds remaining. What a great call. A little shovel pass ahead to Bledsoe, and it caught the Blitz unawares and down to the 25-yard line, a pickup of 8.
A little bit of trickery. You see it again, the inside handoff, and he makes a nice first down of it again, quickly to the shotgun.
Bradley made the stop. There's the snap to Risher. Flag down. Hold everything. Going to be a procedure call or a motion call.
It looked like
in there was Junior IU. Now, Junior played at Arizona State, but he's wearing the wrong color uniform now for the fans to cheer for him. He's the enemy tonight, thank you, number 77. And these Wrangler fans let him know about it.
Well, they certainly did. It looked like the right side of the guard and tackle were moving over there just a little bit. It's hard to say. I think it was Jeff Keywell. Keywell just came to the Wranglers about a week and a half ago. He'd been a guard last year down at Arizona in Tucson, and the year before as a junior he was a tackle, but they need offensive line help. He's working at tackle, so it's a relatively new spot. He's got a real test with IU over there.
First and 15 at the 30-yard line now for Risher and company. There's 29 seconds remaining in this first half. 10-3, the Blitz leading as Risher huddles his ball club. Marked at 2nd and 15 now.
The crowd's still booing just a little bit after that last call, expressing their displeasure. But
check it, it's first down. I wondered why they had lost the down. I saw no reason to take the down away as well. And Bill White corrects himself. All right, it is 1st and 15. Risher from the shotgun sideline, beautifully thrown. Ball and the receiver come together at the 13-yard line, and that is Flowers. And it'll be out of bounds and a first down at the 13 of Chicago.
Well, an excellent job by Flowers. He went down. You see him here. Risher dropping back. It's a timing sideline pattern. He let the ball go absolutely perfect the way you want it done. Before Flowers had made his break, the ball was on its way. We said that Risher is more of a timing type of a passer rather than a lot of velocity, and he was successful with that one.
After giving the Blitz a three-pointer, the Wranglers have moved from their own 20. High snap, but Risher pulls it down. Throws in the end zone, incomplete. Oh, there's a plate flag. It'll be a pass interference call against the Blitz.
Well, I'd have to say it's a good call, too, Tom, because as he was breaking to the corner, sort of a sideline or a little bit of a post sideline type of move, not directly to the sideline, but very smartly, he went to the end zone. Maurice Tyler, who was playing him on the corner, was just a little bit too aggressive. He was over his shoulder, and it appears as though it's going to be in favor of the Wranglers.
I don't know about that. The Blitz was signaling as though they were the ones interfered with. It is offensive pass interference against Arizona.
Well, I got to tell you one thing. Unless he pushed off, and he did not. When you see the replay, and he did not push off early. I was looking in that direction. You didn't see it, and yet they gave it to the Blitz, and that backs them up. That hurt. That hurt.
Bring the ball back out to the 23-yard line. It is going to be first down and 20. And the crowd lets the officials know they do not in any way, manner, shape, or form agree with that flag.
Well, I think the only thing that could be considered at this stage is that they were interpreting that as a pick play, where they tried to screen somebody and let him go outside. And other than that, I did not see any interference in the secondary.
Risher now under center, back to throw. Looking, goes to the sideline, completes the pass, And out of bounds with the ball is Howell. The clock shows 14 seconds. Risher, for a brand new rookie, I mean playing in his first professional start, has handled himself beautifully in this football game tonight.
Well, we've said before that he shows perfect poise as he drops back here. He goes to the back coming out of the backfield, takes what he can get himself just a little closer. They got plenty of time to go one more shot. I would anticipate they'd go to the end zone, try and get 6 out of it. And if they do not, well, they're going to go for the field goal. They aren't going to waste time.
35-yard try. Asmus will be the one. He has missed one from 39, and he's hit one of 22 yards. So this will be a 35-yarder. The snap, it's down, he hits it. It's got plenty of distance. It's good. So the crowd has something to cheer about. And the Wranglers will go to the dressing room pumped up. What a drive. They started on their own 20, and with only but 11 seconds remaining in this first half, they managed to get 3 more. And now it is 10-6. Chicago leads. But it's got to be a big boost in morale and momentum for this young Arizona club.
Yes, and it appears as though Coach Doug Shively's little chat with Jim Asmus on the sideline after he missed that last one had some effect, because he is now 2 for 3. He had a little bit of a tough hold the time before. This time it was a good hold for him. He had no excuses. He knocked it right through. Todd Krieger was the holder at that stage, the second string quarterback in this game. Started a week ago against Washington, but a very, very impressive drive. And you see Shively talking to his defensive unit, essentially, as they get out on the field, or actually the special teams that are going to cover the kickoff. And the impressive drive by Risher, moving against a veteran blitz defensive unit, has got to tell Coach Shively that he might have found himself that young quarterback that he wants.
There's Asmus getting set to kick off, counting heads out there. He's out of the University of Hawaii. He missed 2 field goals a week ago in the loss to Oakland, and he's come on to kick 2 here now. He's 2 for 3 tonight. Now there's Jimmy Stone, played his college ball at the University of Notre Dame, and back there with him Dennison, back there as well as Eddie Brown. And the blitz kind of anticipating an onside try. You never know what this young Wrangler team will do, but Asmus hits it high and deep, and Stone circles under it at the 3. Back to the 10, 20, dumped at the 25-yard line, and the clock ticking down, and that may be, well, 4 seconds as the officials stop the clock now to mark the ball ready for play at the 25-yard line. Admiral Dewey Larry was there to make the stop. What a gutty competitor this kid is out of UNLV. I mean, he's been on the sidelines, banged about, and all but carried off the field a couple of times, and there he is right back out there again.
Yes, he has, and he's played well. He's come up to force some wide plays by Spencer on several occasions. Sometimes he's helped on the tackle. Other times he has to take on the big guard, but has done well and effectively.
One assumes Landry will be happy to go in leading 10-6, so I don't expect much out of this last play. Handoff to Long, and he is hit and dropped almost in his tracks by Bob Nelson, and the scoreboard is run out. All in all, I like that first half of football. I think the Arizona Wrangler fans did too. They set up a roar of approval for their young team as they head for the dressing room. The score here at the end of the first half, the Chicago Blitz 10 and the Arizona Wranglers have 6.
That is the score at halftime from Tempe, Arizona. The Chicago Blitz on top of the Arizona Wranglers 10-6. Although the Wranglers have given George Allen's team of veterans every single bit of trouble that they did not expect, I'm sure, when they went out to Arizona. Although head coach Doug Shively of Arizona made wholesale changes, especially in his offensive backfield, and it's paid off. Alan Risher, what a story he's been so far for Arizona. 15 of 18 in the first half throwing the football for 151 yards, 226 total yards for the Wranglers, and the Blitz gave up just 210 total yards a week ago. So Risher's got them going. There you see the rest of the stats, some first down stats, turnovers, time of possession, Arizona in command. They're trailing, though, on the only stat that counts, the scoreboard. They trail at 10-6 to Chicago, and we're going back for the second half.
Teams will be coming back onto the field to get this second half underway. Chicago leading 10-6. The Arizona Wranglers getting a last-second field goal to bring themselves close. Beautiful, 80 degrees, 13-mile-an-hour wind out of the south. The field very dry. Here's Landry, and Donnie hits Willis with this pass right over the middle, beautifully thrown. They
took a little lick just as he let go of it. And of course, the quarterback normally will say, I don't mind paying just a little bit when I can get 6 out of it.
That made it 7-3, Chicago, and then back came the Wranglers with a field goal to climax the first half, and a good comeback by the Wranglers to close within 10-6, and that's where we are. And there's a look at the crowd. And this is a great football city, you know, Tempe, and a great university, Arizona State, the Sun Devil Stadium. And if the Arizona Wranglers can put a team on the field that's attractive and can win, this will be a great franchise.
Well, you know, Tom, you also have to go back in that first half. A couple of things happened. Alan Risher has done just about everything Coach Doug Shively could ask. He's been mobile back there. He's rolled out, thrown on the run. He's thrown from the pocket. They've gotten pretty good defense. They got hurt a little bit by penalties. They had a significant number of those. But then, just before the field goal of Chicago on the long drive, the Arizona Wranglers were at the 16-yard line on 3rd and short. They fumbled it away. They would have settled at least for a try for a field goal, and trailing 10-6, that could have brought it 10-9. They missed a 39-yard field goal a little bit earlier, so there is that possibility they could be ahead in this football game. George Allen, who does not like mistakes, seems to have his defensive unit a little bit confused, not only by the play of Risher, but the motion and the various actions that they are using, play action off the motion, and then the rolls to get Risher away, and the effectiveness of the receivers downfield have created some problems. So I would venture to say that he had a few stern words to say, fellas, this isn't the kind of football I expect. We have a long season ahead of us. This is only the second football game. Just because we won one game a week ago, one game does not a season make. And the Wranglers, at this point, are really fired up. That had to help them get a three-pointer just before the half, and as they get ready to go for the kickoff, they're going to go hard.
Asmus the kickoff, and that's Jimmy Stone, Notre Damer, waiting in the middle of the field at about the 3-yard line. Dennison to one side, and of course Eddie Brown is to the other. Dennison to the near side, Brown to the far side. Coming into this football game, the Chicago Blitz, a prohibitive 2-touchdown favorite. There might have been a little complacency and overconfidence on their part as well. We'll see what the second half brings. Stone brings it to the 20, trying to get to the sideline, is buried as he crosses the 20. Quite obviously, the Blitz wanted to run it right back up the sidelines near the Wrangler defense. Couldn't quite make it to the sidelines. Over to make the stop was Norris. And it's going to be Chicago's ball, and the Blitz will have it on their own 22-yard line.
One of the Blitz hurt on that play. He's down on the sidelines. We can't quite catch the number yet to determine who that is that was on the kickoff return team. It looks like it isn't too terribly serious. You always feel that if they're looking down around those legs or the area of the knees, that could be a major consideration. We never like to feel that anybody is going to get hurt in the course of the game, but at this stage, they're at least talking to him, and he is moving.
All right, we'll resume play here in a moment. 10-6, Chicago leads. Steve Tobin, who is the backup center and an important man, of course, on the special kickoff teams, shaken up but came off under his own power for Chicago, and we're ready to resume action now. He's getting some additional medical attention on the far side. Chicago takes over on its own 22-yard line, 10-6 in favor of the Blitz. Bugs is flanked to the left side, and Tremaine Johnson is set to the right. Bugs going in motion. Landry, the quarterback, out of the eye. Flips it over to Johnson behind the line, is hit as he crosses the 20 and carries to the 24. Tarver was there along with Kimmel. Kimmel was the first man to react to that. And Johnson, they try to throw that little pass out there and give him a little hitch stutter step effort out there.
Excellent job by Kimmel. He reads the play. He recognizes that he plays off of the man. It's just that one-man screen that they used before. Last week, Johnson was very effective with it. Kimmel, in excellent pursuit, is out there to make the tackle in a very, very short game.
And a pretty good effort, too, by Aaron Mitchell, number 41, to contain the whole thing and keep Johnson, who's a fleet-footed guy, from getting some open field and a chance to really move. Coming in motion to the left side was Ricker. Pass caught, and they say inbounds at the 42-yard line across the way. And Walker was there on defense, but not soon enough.
Well, Walker made a pretty good play. He was close enough to him, but the official indicated that Walker's momentum took the receiver out of bounds, which would be a completion. So Landry, starting out here, putting that ball in the air.
Has a first down at his own 42-yard line, leading 10-6 as we've just started period number 3 here at Tempe, Arizona, Sun Devil Stadium. Landry has the back split. That's Long and Spencer. And Landry back to throw, looking at Spencer. No, going downfield. He's got to complete to Johnson. Breaks a tackle. Is hit from behind and dropped at the Wranglers' 38-yard line. And again, it was Kimmel coming up from behind to make the stop on Johnson. They say he put him down at the 39-yard line, deep in Wrangler territory.
Nothing fancy about it. Bugs has as good a speed as Johnson does. Just take it straight upfield, runs the little hook pattern. Missed tackle over there, and that's what you don't like to see.
So Johnson, who caught 11 balls last week, is back at it now, and Landry looking to him as a favorite target. Just inside the 40. First down, Chicago, leading 10-6 and trying to get a jump here in the third period. Landry hurried, throws too high, too far. Johnson, the intended receiver.
Well, the Wranglers have come in with 4 defensive linemen at 2nd and 10. They want to try and get more pressure on Landry. They have not gotten much starting early in the second half.
Willis is in, and he's number 89. He's caught a touchdown pass already. He was set in the slot left, and Landry is instead going to Spencer out of the backfield. Good pursuit by Perkins and by Jones, and a flag goes down on the tackle, and we'll see the disposition of that. It could be holding against the defense. We'll have to wait and see what referee Bill White got in store for us. It's Bill, number 60. Veteran official on the West Coast in football and basketball. Oh, we're going to have offside against the defense. Offside against the Wranglers. This is a young, energetic, enthusiastic team, and they, of course, kind of maligned after losing 24-0 to Oakland a week ago. And what a difference a week has made in the makeup of this club and the spirit of their play and the intensity and the overall excellence of it. They've done an outstanding job. Bear in mind that the Chicago Blitz comes into most every game in the United States Football League in the early going, touted as being the most experienced, the most talent-laden. And they might very well be just that. But the Wranglers have literally played them to a standstill here tonight, though they do trail 10-6.
Nelson, in this case, as you see the replay, Nelson being double-teamed to the inside. And now it ends up with 3 people on him. Now it's 2nd and 5. The Wranglers go back to the 3-man rush and the 4 linebackers.
And the ball is at the Arizona 34-yard line. Coming with a blitz is at Wilcox. He shows blitz, then drops back off. Now Landry, Wilcox coming after him. Landry throws it in a hurry. Had to throw it too soon. Tried to get it to his tight end, Richter. And I tell you, Wilcox really came with a rush, didn't he?
Well, we had seen him work with that safety blitz in practice. They did not show it a week ago. Chicago was prepared for it. In talking with George Allen, he anticipated that type of a thing. It's the first time tonight they have shown it. They showed it a little bit early, and as you saw on the TV sets, that Landry automatic moved his backs over, tried to run away from that crowd. They moved everybody up in the line early so that they did tip their Duke, but it got enough pressure to make Landry throw it away.
So we've got Bugs to the left side, and Willis is in the slot. Landry to throw, gets a rush, gets hit, throws it incomplete. Got a great deal of pressure from Tarver, and a flag down across the way. Hold everything. Flag down across the way. Let's check with Bill White. Offside against the defense. So the Wranglers suffer again via the penalty. And from a 3rd and 5 at the 34, the walk-off could very well be first down Chicago inside the Arizona 30-yard line.
Well, that has certainly hurt the Wranglers, as they could have shut this drive down at that point. The blitz starting approximately at their 22-yard line on the drive.
Number 61 on the defense. It's first down.
And there's the call. They claim that Ray Caddage, the defensive end out of the University of Washington, was offside. He was crowding the ball just a little bit too much. They had the inside linebackers coming, trying to get to Landry. It's the second time they've blitzed in this series, the last couple, to make him throw it away. This one, very costly.
12:59 remaining, third period. This possession started on the Chicago 22-yard line. They are now down at the 29-yard line of the Wranglers, and the handoff to Long tries to go outside, breaks the tackle, and then is cut down as Ben Apuna comes over and hits him from his linebacker spot. Long with a nice dipsy-do, a little bit of a juke move there right at the line of scrimmage. Got some room to move, and Apuna was there to knock him down after a gain of no more than 1, 2nd and 9 at the 28.
Again, a very conventional play off that right side. Reads the tackle, nothing there. Tried to get outside. Apuna, one of the linebackers, and why we mentioned earlier that they play those two inside guys deep. They try to get them into pursuit angles, and he did just that time.
Johnson to the right, or the short side of the field, to the open side, the bottom of your screen. That's Buggs, and now he goes in motion back toward the short side. And Landry's back to throw, has time, goes to his back. That's Spencer. Good hands at the 30, and good coverage, as up there was Mitchell very, very quickly. Perkins was there as well, and Kimmel. They were all there. You know, I like Spencer's hands. He catches the ball, even though up around the helmet, maybe off the shoulder pad. Got good hands in catching the ball for a running back.
Well, he has been a good receiver. He does have those good hands. Mitchell, who was coming across with the motion action, and we're going to get it again, was a little bit far off, recovered in a hurry. You see Spencer just swinging out of the backfield, and Landry, seeing nothing upfield, hits him, and then makes a quick move to the inside. We get
Mitchell
some quick
and Kimmel
by
and
Aaron
Perkins.
Mitchell.
They were all there.
Excellent player.
So the ball, grudgingly now, the Wranglers have allowed it to go to the 27, third down. Landry to throw downfield. He has his man. It is caught, and the man who grabbed it, I believe, is Johnson. He did indeed, and he's tackled by Jones, but not before Landry hit him for the first down at the 12-yard line.
Well, Landry really drilled that one in there to Johnson. They call Johnson by the nickname Too Cold, and the reason they do that is because of his business approach to the football game. He knows where he is and what he's doing, and Eddie Robinson says no one man can cover Tremaine Johnson.
Ricker is in at the tight end spot. Johnson to the short side, or the top of your screen, far side of the field. Buggs flanked to the bottom. Backs are split in the conventional set. And Landry to throw. Comes to this side quickly to Smith. Smith is at the 5, is bumped out of bounds. No, he's into the end zone for the touchdown. Ricker, the tight end, on the catch and the touchdown right at the flag. Knocked down and in the end zone, and a big drive put together by Landry and company. Watch it again, and you'll see Landry looking right into your living room, and he hits the tight end, Ricker. Hit him for a touchdown a week ago, and Ricker, once he gets it, knows where the end zone is. He's hit and slides right into your living room. Touchdown, Chicago. Another look at it.
Good job. His legs might have not been in, or his feet, but the ball broke the plane of the goal line, and Ricker, who caught a touchdown pass a week ago and has been a revitalized player, has got to be happy.
The try for the extra point by Corral is no good, and Frank is more than a little bit upset with himself, and a lot of other things, too. So, without the point after, Chicago 16, Arizona 6. 78 yards in 9 plays, and Landry with the second touchdown toss of the evening, his 4th of the year. 16-6. Corral, who missed the extra point, set to kick off. And the deep man, that'd be Murray to the top of your screen, Blue to the bottom. And the Wranglers now down. The low bouncing kick. Wilcox takes it at the 25, at the 30, at the 35, head down close to the 40 and about the 39.
Well, this will give the Wranglers good field position. A lot of confidence shown by George Allen as he's not having Corral kick deep. In some instances, you don't want to give those deep people a chance to return the football, but he knows he's got that veteran defensive club, despite the fact that Alan Risher, the quarterback, has moved effectively. Landry in that drive threw 6 passes for 66 yards, which was really effective and probably the best drive of the night on his part.
So Risher takes over at his own 39-yard line now. Backs in the I formation. That's Howell, the up back, and the play-action fake. Risher gets a rush over the middle. Oh, fortunate that he threw it low. Fonhorst had an interception, but it was right at the turf, and he short-hopped it incomplete. Risher really with a rush put on by the blitz. Lathrop and Lorch were coming. And Risher more than a bit shaken up. You see his stats there. He's had a brilliant night. 15 of 19, 151 yards. But he hasn't been able to get it in the end zone. He's had to settle for just 2 field goals.
You see it again as Risher takes a shot trying to get rid of it. That's the second time that he has flirted a little bit with disaster as he's been under some siege and has tried to get away and throw the football. And in that case, he did get away with it as we're getting a little bit of an injury timeout to pull him together. We're pulling it together again, and you'll see that what it's like to be back there as a quarterback when you draw a crowd with that football.
Risher is apparently shaken up so that he is not going to be able to continue, at least for the moment, as he's coming off the field. The young LSU product who has had really an outstanding ball game. Maybe tough to understand that. His team down 16-6. But it has been some mistakes in that red zone. Fumbled at the 13-yard line, inability to kick a field goal that has kept the club from putting some points on the board. Touchdown variety. And now there's Krieger, who played a week ago. And as Krieger comes on, we show you what he did a week ago. 11 of 21 for 94 yards. Krieger is got a better arm. He's a better drop back and throw the football. He does not have the quick feet. Doesn't get around as well. But he was 11 of 21. So he takes over now at quarterback with a 2nd and 10 at his own 39. Sends Flowers in motion. And as is so often the case when you get a new quarterback in, the first thing he does, Don, and of course you played for a number of years, hand that ball off to somebody and kind of get the feel of what's going on out there.
Well, that's what they like to do. It does 2 things. It gives the quarterback a chance to get the feel of things. It gets the offensive people an opportunity to get adjusted to his snap count. And Risher is now coming back into the game, draws a nice round of applause from the crowd as Krieger comes off and goes to the sideline.
Krieger probably wishes he'd have used that one down he had to play with to throw it deep.
Yeah,
go for the ball.
I'm sure he'd like to.
All right, Balholm comes in motion to the right side, and Risher back to throw. Sets, gets a rush, steps away, throws it as he's hit, incomplete. Well, Lorch was there again, and Lathrop, that twosome, making life more than miserable for the young kid from LSU, Alan Risher. 15 of 20. I tell you, those are nice statistics, even though he doesn't have any touchdowns to follow with them.
Well, you might have thought that he would go back to that roll or sprint out type of action to get away from it. He did put the ball in the direction of Mark Keel. It wasn't real close, but it was effective, although now they're going to have to punt it away.
Asmuth to kick, and Willis is waiting for the football. Oh, my, he's going to throw it instead downfield, and it is batted away. It's caught. Pass is caught on a trick play to the 30-yard line. And the reception is by Erlen Red, a defensive back, and it looked for all the world like the ball was batted away from him. Well, talk about a trick play with 9:18 to go in the 3rd period. Watch it again.
You'll get to see it again as he looks upfield. A pretty good catch. The ball was a little bit behind him. Red had to catch it through the arms of the defensive back in that area, which was Jim Stone, who was playing in the defensive area on the punt return team. His responsibility to cover him. Good concentration. Ball went right through his hands, but a big first down, a big gamble.
Indeed, and it pays off. The Wranglers at the 30-yard line of the blitz with a first down. So Risher now backs a split with a chance. Straightens and throws quick. Oh, sideline. It's caught and dancing out of bounds with it. Dancing out of bounds was Smith, and that ball was nearly intercepted by Tyler, who looked as though he was headed with a big interception and a touchdown.
Well, that's what he thought as he slapped his hands together on it. He thought he did have it. It was just a little quick out. There's nothing to it. Really, it's a timing type thing. You see him 1, 2, 3 steps, throw to the outside. The receiver goes down about 6, 7 yards, breaks to the sideline. It's a gamble shot. If the defensive back can cut in front and pick it off, he'll go all the way. That time he didn't.
16-6 in favor of Chicago. The handoff straight ahead. Bledsoe squirms and fights his way inside the 20 to the 19-yard line, and very close to, if not a first down. We'll wait for Bill White to mark it. 1st and 10 for the Wranglers. White made the stop, not the official, Stan White.
And a little enthusiasm by the fans here. They're getting cranked up. Their club is on the move. They're trailing 16-6 with 8:13 to go in the ball game. They have a first down at the 19-yard line. They're mixing up the plays very effectively. They've got a little bit of confusion with the defensive club of the Blitz. So if they can take it on in here, it would be a nice 7-pointer.
6.5 quarters have gone by in the USFL season, and the Wranglers are still looking for a touchdown. Risher rolling to his right, sets, looks back the other way, goes down the middle of the end zone. Nobody there. I mean, nobody. And a flag down at the line of scrimmage. Hold everything.
Well, the old saying, a call by the umpire in that area generally means a holding penalty against the offensive line. Here we're going to get the call. The official said, yes, it is. So that's going to hurt. It's going to back them up.
They'll go back to the 29-yard line, and it'll be first down and 20 for the Wranglers now with 7:49 to go. Bill says, step aside, Mr. Schwartz, and we'll mark it off. Let me take it 5. Let me take it 10. We'll put it right there at the 29, and it'll be first down and 20. So a fourth down, big trick play.
We've got a hole.
A bit of trickery
Offense, number
as they throw the
63.
pass.
First down.
Risher is 16 of 21, 158 yards. The ball at the 29-yard line. The pass from Asmus, the kicker, to Berlin Red. And talk about people out of position. Jim Stone, who's a running back and a return man, was the defender. And it all ended up in a big first down. Now the Wranglers struggling a bit. Risher breaks the tackle at the line of scrimmage, carries it to the 20-yard line, nearly got back. The 10 they lost a moment ago. Stan White all but had him in the backfield. He busted loose, and Lathrop finally brought him down after a gain of 9 at the 20-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 11.
Here you get Risher looking back. You see White coming into the picture. He breaks loose and takes it upfield, goes right up the middle, the type of thing a quarterback generally should do, not try and go to the side. In that instance, it opened up in the middle. Get what you can get, and then take the next down.
7:14 to go, third period. 16-6 in favor of Chicago, and Arizona looking for their first touchdown of the year. Risher gives the ball, and straight ahead Howell is pulled off his pins by big number 77, Junior Ayu, who grabbed him as he stepped into the secondary, spun him around. Now, Howell is 6'2 and 228. And Junior Ayu is 6'3 and 238. That's a pretty good physical confrontation, and Ayu won it hands down. Gain to the 18. It'll be third down and 9, Arizona.
Junior Ayu lives in Hawaii in the offseason, and it's kind of a little bit of a contrast. Over there, he runs a Polynesian Cultural Center. It's a little different ball game out there tonight.
Lone setback is Howell. Risher sends Keel in motion. Risher rolling back, stops, looks, goes to the sideline, pass complete, out of bounds inside the 10. Beautifully thrown, great catch, and Balholm was the man who pulled it down again. This rookie out of BYU, one would have realized that he'd know how to catch a ball, that aerial circus they've got up there, Lavelle Edwards. But what a great catch.
And once again, the guy he beats is Virgil Livers. A timing throw to the sidelines. He gets it on its way. Livers way too far off of him. Livers, I should say, so that it picks up a very important first down for the Wranglers.
First and goal, Arizona. The ball on the 8-yard line of the Blitz. Arizona looking for its first touchdown of this 1983 USFL season. Risher, the quarterback, has Bledsoe there, gives to Curtis, pulls his way on a little counter close to the 5. Number 5, that's a fun horse there. 56 on defense is Eddie Smith. Curtis Bledsoe carries. They're going to mark it at the 6-yard line. It'll be second and goal at the 6. Shutout 24-0 a week ago at the hands of Oakland. And now with just but 2 field goals as they're battling Chicago and trailing 16-6. The Wranglers started with this ball on their own 39-yard line following a kick return by Wilcox. And now they are deep, second and goal at the 6. Backs are set in close. Balholm comes in motion to the right side. Risher rolling to his right. Cocks his arm, throws in the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. The pass complete to Mike Smith. waited 8.5 quarters. Got to do cartwheels when you get that first one.
Well, I thought Mike Smith was going to. We're going to look at it again. He rolls out to the right. They bring motion over there. They end up really in a trip set to that side. Smith going downfield. He just goes into the end zone. Doesn't get too deep. Hooks. And perfect timing by the quarterback, Alan Risher, number 7.
Try for the extra point. Krieger puts it down. It's blocked. Blocked. And so, while they get a touchdown, they can't get 7. They'll have to settle for 6. It is 16-12. Chicago leads. And the Wranglers putting on a 61-yard, 11-play drive that took 5 minutes and 4 seconds. And Risher, 6-yard touchdown toss to Smith. And for the 2 men, their first of the year. There's Asmus, who missed the try for the extra point. He's got 2 field goals. Jim Stone waiting for the blitz. Takes it at the 3. Straight up to the 5. 10. Hurdles to the 20, to the 25-yard line. Well, that's an exciting move, but it can be a dangerous one indeed as you try to hurdle would-be tacklers. Howell was there to make the stop, and we've got a player shaken up for the blitz and down at the 25-yard line. Dennison going out. It might be Stone. I don't know. Could be Stone. Injured player will take time. Back in just a moment. We think that is Jim Stone, the running back, and the return man on the kickoff. Let's take another look at it. The man in the white hat out there is the owner of the Chicago Blitz, Dr. Dietrich, the noted heart surgeon. Now here's Stone coming straight back, and now comes the hurdle right up over the top and gets caught in midair and gets hit by Howell, and down he goes. And I think when he came down, Don Heinrich, he probably twisted a knee, twisted an ankle. That seems to be the problem.
Well, they took it up the middle, running a conventional wedge. Usually you got 3 big linemen back there to sort of set that thing up, and you have to time it so that you come right into it just as it's starting to break. Ben Apuna, the inside linebacker, who is 6'2" and 238 out of Arizona State, he threw his body in there with reckless abandon. You like to have that kind of a guy on kickoff teams to take that wedge on. And with those big tackles, you know, it's going to make you think twice. But he was fearless, and he busted the wedge up. You see Smith on the sideline sitting there that scored the touchdown.
Turn around, Mike, and wave. You're smiling. You're happy. Stone got his bell rung. Let's be frank about it. He was helped off the field, mostly under his own power, but a steadying hand. All right, Landry now at his own 25-yard line. Play action fake. Steps away and throws it away. That's in the crowd.
Up in the stands almost.
Got a big rush out of Bob Nelson. Landry kind of bootlegged it on the little play action and then stepped to the side as the rush continued around him and just tossed it away. It'll be 2nd down and 10 at the 25 as Nelson has been a very big item in this football game. He's been offside encroachment several times, and he's been a thorn in the side of the blitz backfield more often than not.
Yes, he has. You know, in his earlier days, Landry would have run with that football. He set a record in the NFL for rushing for quarterbacks in '71 with 530 yards. Now that he's older,
He's got 2 touchdown tosses tonight. He's got 4 on the year, and he leads 16-12, and he's back to throw with protection down the middle. Great catch by Buggs as he ran a crossing pattern at about the 43. I think they'll give him progress there. He and Trumaine Johnson ran a little crossing pattern down there, Don, and that's tough for the defense to cover. You get 2 guys like that, very tough.
Johnson coming across here kind of picks him off just as he's catching the football to give him a little bit of blocking on Wilcox. But they did have that crossing pattern. They're trying to hurt the zone, and that's one effective way to do it. They're vulnerable down the middle, and crossing patterns generally can hurt it.
Buggs is set to the left, Johnson to the right side. First down at the 42-yard line. Blitz with the ball and leading 16-12. Landry to throw. Pass caught by Buggs, does a little slide trying to get away from Admiral Dewey Larry. But Admiral Dewey was right there. Now Buggs and Larry are having a little tete-a-tete. Mitchell comes over to offer some conversation. So tempers are just a little bit short down there. 4 catches, 68 yards for Buggs.
Buggs feeling that Larry was just a little bit too over-aggressive as he hit him there after the catch on that little hook pattern. And the Wranglers are giving the Chicago Blitz all they can handle in this ball game. They're going to take a measurement here as with 4:18 to go. The Wranglers are trailing 16-12. The officials put it down. They say it is a matter of maybe a foot and a half, possibly short.
About the length of the football for the first down. Just nosed up at the 48-yard line in Wrangler territory. We've had some, we think, exciting moments out here tonight. We hope that you're enjoying the telecast. Young Alan Risher has played well. The veteran Chicago Blitz Ball Club has maintained its decorum and its cool and its poise, and they lead 16-12. But this Wrangler team, young, impetuous, you just never know what they're going to come up with. Let's call it second down and about a foot at the 48-yard line. Again, Johnson and Buggs both to the left, and now Buggs goes in motion to the right side. And the handoff straight ahead, Spencer picking his way gingerly, like a guy walking through a minefield, really, but routinely getting the first down behind a good charge up front as he gets to the 46-yard line. First and 10, Chicago at the Wrangler 46-yard line. Possession on this drive started on the Chicago 25 following Stone's kickoff return, which, of course, was preceded by a 61-yard, 11-play drive. Don't forget, the Washington Federals and the LA Express go at each other Monday night, and ESPN will be there, the Los Angeles Coliseum. Ray Jock of the Federals, coaching National Club, Huey Campbell of the Express, two great Canadian Football League mentors who've gone at each other many times. Quick look out at the sideline. Johnson, check it, not Johnson, but over there to catch it with Buggs, and he's driven out of bounds at the 40-yard line. Jones was over there to make the securing move to knock him out of bounds, put it at the 40-yard line, a gain of 6. It'll be 2nd and 4.
Talking with Charlie Waller last night, watching him work out here, George Allen wanted to work under the lights. He felt that if they were going to double cover Tremaine Johnson on one side, that they would effectively try and go to the other side to Buggs. And that's what Landry is doing, is he looks at that defense, reads it. If he can see it early, then he's going to take those little gimme-type passes, and that's what he did then.
So there's Buggs, set wide to the left side, and Johnson draws the short side of the field. That'll be to the top of your screen. Landry back to throw. Gets a rush, throws it away. Got a very big rush out of John Kimmel, the rookie out of Goldgate, 6'4", 240-pounder. And Landry's kind of saying to himself, who's supposed to get 58? Let's get in the huddle here and find out. Let's regroup. It'll be 3rd down and 4 at the Wrangler 40-yard line.
And the outside linebacker on that side, Glenn Perkins, doing a nice job covering. That helped make up Landry's mind to throw the football away. He's a rookie out of Arizona, walked out of camp, had a bad knee 2 years ago, had to have it reconstructed, but they talked him into coming back, and he's done a good job.
Big play time now, offensively, defensively as well. Landry with a 3rd down at the 40. Oh my, Nelson might have been offside again. Landry throws it downfield, incomplete. Diving attempt by Buggs. I don't know whether or not Nelson has a flag down, and I'm afraid he jumped the gun again at the line of scrimmage. If so, he's given up still another first down to Chicago.
And it looks like he's going to come out of the ball game. You look at the coverage here of the defensive secondary. They're doubling to the backside, in and out on Johnson. Single coverage on Buggs as he runs about 17 yards, takes it to the inside. The ball is overthrown. Larry trying to cover him, but unfortunately, with Nelson jumping offside, they now pick up the automatic first down, and Nelson gets a rest on the bench.
18 of 27 for Landry, 202 yards tonight and 2 touchdown tosses. And while we've talked of Buggs and of Tremaine Johnson, his touchdown tosses have gone to Rickard, the tight end, and early in the first half.
Number 53 on the defense, it's first down.
Early in the first half, the initial touchdown toss went to Willis. So it is first down and 10, ball at the 35-yard line, and the Wranglers, as the old general said, we have met the enemy, and he is us. Landry benefiting from that quick move by Nelson, just a little too over-eager in his efforts to get at the quarterback, and he has caused innumerable encroachment offside calls. Here's Landry with a first down at the 35. Back to throw. Steps up, gets hit, spins away, still on his feet, throws it complete. Can you believe the courage of Landry and the great catch by the tight end, Ricker? Kimmel was all over Landry, like a diamond over glass, and he still got it away.
Well, Campbell was right there with him, and you have to say one thing with Kimmel, the rule applies the same with the NFL. In the judgment of the official back there, whether he's in the grasp of someone, that they're going to blow it dead. That time they didn't. It paid off for Chicago.
Second down, and the ball has gone to the 28-yard line. Blitz started this drive on their own 25, and now they send Bugs in motion. Johnson set to the left, the handoff straight ahead, long, finds a hole, and sneaks inside the 25, down to about the 23-yard line, bottom of the pile. Campbell was there, in there also. Perkins in there also for the blitz, Clark. Ball at the 22-yard line, a 6-yard pickup makes it first down for the blitz.
Well, effectiveness of this drive, as it did in the last one, has been the passing of Landry, and tonight he came into this football game with 100 passes straight, no interceptions, and he's been just that this evening. No problem.
16-12, Chicago leads. We've got a minute 49 to go in the third period. Landry to throw, rush, chase, throws it. Diving catch at the 7-yard line. Bugs has got a first and goal.
Well, a good job by Landry scrambling out of there under heavy pressure as he moved to the right. He saw Bugs breaking down and into the inside, just a square-in type of move. He's done it 3 or 4 times this evening for receptions. And Landry, throwing on the move, hits him, moves the ball to the approximately 8-yard line, just inside of it.
Jones comes out, and Walker is in defensively at the left corner spot for the Wranglers. And the ball just inside the 8-yard line now. There's Bugs with 6 catches. Landry's got 2 touchdowns tonight, 4 on the year, and a first and goal, leading 16-12 and looking for more. The snap, and kind of a bump around in the backfield as he hands it off to Spencer, and he and Spencer banged into each other, but they made the handoff. Spencer getting little or no yardage, practically. Kimmel there to make the stop at the 7. Give him a gain of 1.
We look at the defensive move and get the replay slanting to the right as the linebacker, sitting relatively deep, moves inside. Glenn Perkins with some help to fill it in a hurry and shut it down.
Perkins in on the stop at the 7-yard line. It is second and goal. The blitz threatening again. Landry looking in the end zone. Pass thrown incomplete. Flag. Obvious pass interference against Walker of the Wranglers, and Bugs the intended receiver. Walker all but tackled Bugs as he crossed the goal line, and I believe they'll move it to the 1, and it'll be first and goal Chicago.
Well, once again, Landry going to that quick post or slant type action, knowing that it's very difficult. It's a timing thing. He's got to hit him in between the linebackers as he breaks off of the corner.
Bill White looking it over now, checking with his officials to see whether or not in the end zone, if it occurred there, they'll take it to the 1-yard line. Maybe they'll just move it half the distance, depending upon, that's what the discussion is, I'm sure. Where did it happen? Was it in the end zone? If so, it'll go to the 1.
Well, the corners were in that bump and run position. As we commented earlier, it is just a one-on-one dogfight between you and the cornerback.
Defensive pass interference, number 28, first down.
So it's first and goal now. They put it at the 2-yard line. First and goal at the 2. Drive started at the 25. 14 seconds remain in this, the third period. And the blitz leading 16-12 as you look right into the backfield. A good look right into Landry's mask. Everybody bunched in. The goal line stand. Coming outside with the ball. Long. Can he get to the end zone? Can't. Oh, what a bull-like effort by Long. And what an even better effort by the defense and the man in charge there, number 56. Carver may have had a face mask. The flag is down. We'll wait and see.
Once again, from ground level, you see him dip in, try and get to the outside. Linebacker and Admiral Larry moving in to contain him, but or Craver at this point, they get an inadvertent face mask call.
Tarver was the guy, number 56, but in looking at that replay, I didn't see the face mask. Although the flag was thrown, we'll wait for Bill White, the referee, to tell us, as they again are going to mark it now half the distance at the 1. Here comes the call. Here he comes now, checking.
56, face mask, 5-yard penalty, half the distance to the goal.
First and goal at the 1. It was Tarver, guilty of the face mask. Take another look and you can see it right there. And that's Tarver, 56. Larry came up to help out, but Tarver had him. Long, ball carrier, what a bull-like effort he made to get it to the end zone, and I guess only the face mask kept it out. So the blitz still threatening. First and goal at the 1 now. Bunched in offensively and defensively. 2 tight ends to bookend the line. Straight ahead and over the top, and Long's in the end zone, and Chicago has scored again. Long puts it in the end zone, up and over the top. With that touchdown now, it is 22-12.
You get a ground level shot from the end zone camera. You see Long coming in, just jumps over the top. And usually when you're in that tight, because you know the defensive line is going to be submarining, they're going to go down to the ground, try and stack it up. You want to find your best jumper. And Long does a good job. He's a heavy-duty guy, and yet he can still go over the top.
That's his first of the night, his second of the year, and now we'll see about Corral's try for the extra point. When he missed a moment ago, this one is up and good. So we've got just 5 seconds left in the third quarter, and the Blitz have scored 75 yards to make it 23-12. Awaiting the kickoff now for the Wranglers, and it'll be Frank Corral to hit it away. Corral has a field goal, a missed point after, a couple that were good. Wilcox takes the short kick at the 30, 35, and Tommy's down at the 37-yard line. So Corral, for the second time, as we come to the end of the third period, has kicked it off short, deliberately, quite obviously. 3 periods are in the book. The score, Chicago 23, Arizona 12. 23-12 in favor of Chicago. Good field position here, Don Heinrich, as young Risher takes over on his own 37. But he's down by 11. He's got a lot of things to get done here. Risher, the quarterback for the Wranglers, at his own 37-yard line. First down. Starting the fourth period, and Risher back to throw. Comes over to this side. I think somebody ran either the wrong pattern or he threw it the wrong way. Balholm was the intended receiver, and he has looked so very good, and they've had a nice passing combination between them tonight. I wonder just who threw it away or who ran the wrong route.
Well, you never know on those things. Both of them have not played a great deal of football at this level, and Balholm anticipated taking the inside. Risher obviously thinking he was going outside. I would assume that Risher is going to continue as he has been, keep going to the wide rollout things, get away from the crowd.
On the delay, the handoff to Bledsoe. No room in the middle, trying to come outside. Head down is dropped almost at the line of scrimmage. Fonhorst tracking that play beautifully. Bottled up the middle, and then when he couldn't get in the middle, he tried to come outside, and Fonhorst was right there. Livers was there as well. They'll mark it at 37. No gain, 3rd and 10.
Well, he mixed it up a little bit on 2nd and long. He went to the draw play again. They've used it a lot tonight. Reasonably effective. Trying to slow that rush down. They have not utilized a whole lot of screens. Risher, again, preferring to go out side to side, going to either Balholm, Smith, and not utilizing Keel, the tight end, like they had been in practice.
Well, he's brought in Genfeld now to bookend the line along with Keel. He's got one back in there as he takes Bledsoe out. He's a long count at the line of scrimmage. Risher needs a big play. Throws it to Howell. He's at the 35 to the 39-yard line. Short, of course, of the first down. Got only 2. And so it's going to be a 4th down, and Asmus comes in to kick.
Well, you'd have to think Mark Keel, the tight end on the left side, the double tight end offense, was open as he ran the hook pattern. Could have picked up the first down, but Risher chose to go to the back coming out of the backfield. Normally, you'd want him to go upfield because you're not going to pick up the first down in most instances going to the back.
We look for a kick here and not a trick play, as we saw earlier from Asmus. Willis is waiting for the ball at the 12-yard line. Asmus stands at his own 25, steps up and hits it. Nice kick. High, hanging spiral. Willis waiting at the 10, takes it at the 12, 15, 20, 25. Still on his feet, not very close to the 29-yard line. Nice return by Willis. We've got 13-17 to go in this game. Chicago 23-12. The line, that's Spencer. Gets to turn the corner. 30-35, goes out of bounds at about the 37. Now a flag, maybe a late hit. Spencer rolled up against the fence that separates the field from the stands, and kind of like maybe a 15 or 20-foot walkway down there. See what the flag's all about. Shively down at the sideline is saying, "Oh, you got to be kidding. We didn't hit him late. Personal foul," says Bill White.
Almost chased him up into the bleachers. Tim Norris, the offensive right guard, did an excellent job there leading the blocking as he picked off the corner. Give them a chance to get around that corner and pick up some nice yardage. The Blitz tonight, really, when you think about it, their field position has not been as good on the exchange of kicks in 7 times. They have started in back of their 20 only once when they started at the 38-yard line. Arizona, on the other hand, in 7 attempts on the change of the ball, has started outside of their 30-yard line in all but one.
Personal foul, number 40 on the defense. It's first down.
They called the foul on number 20 on the defense. On Berlin Red, number 40.
Here you see it again as
I'll tell you, if Berlin really had mayhem on his mind, he could have done a lot more to Spencer than that. He really didn't do all that to him. There's Spencer breaking it open up the middle inside the 45 to the 42 or 3-yard line. Pulled down by Mitchell across the way. You really can't give Landry this kind of field position and the Chicago Blitz experienced club that kind of a break, an extra 15 yards. There's the attendance tonight, 28,434, and expect to maintain any kind of control over them. They are just too good, too talented a team. Mark the ball at the 43-yard line. 2nd and 5, Chicago, leading 23-12. Wranglers almost offside again. Little quick out, caught by Buggs, dropped at the 36-yard line, but first down. Is wide to the left, and Johnson to the near side, the bottom of your screen. The backs, that's long. Spencer back to throw is Landry. Sets right down the middle, threw it low, one hopping it, trying to get it to Trumaine Johnson. Incomplete. And the ball will come back to the 36, and it'll be 2nd and 10.
Well, you know, we talked about Trumaine Johnson earlier and said that Eddie Robinson, his coach at Grambling, said no one man could cover him. He helped Eddie Robinson against Florida A&M when he scored 3 touchdowns, go to his 300th win in his career, which has certainly been an illustrious one.
2nd and 10, Chicago, leading 23-12. The ball is at the Arizona 36-yard line. 12:24 time remaining in this, the 4th period. Landry with time. Throws a little soft one, complete to his tight end, Ricker, inside the 20, and Ricker's down to the 15-yard line. Ricker, who took it in for a touchdown earlier, has the ball to the 15-yard line, and Perkins is there to make the stop.
Well, the Wranglers came with the 4-man rush. We're going to see it again. They went with a twist inside. You see the 2 tackles looping around. Absolutely no pressure on Landry. A good vision for passing. A passing lane as he hits Ricker and picks up a nice first down deep. They're threatening just inside the 16. You see the blocking on Campbell as they double, almost triple him there. They pick him up with all combinations of interior offensive linemen.
First down at the 16-yard line. The Blitz leading 23-12 and threatening to get more. Landry's got 2 touchdown tosses. Look at the protection. All the time in the world. Tried to hit Johnson. Coverage there by Perkins, the linebacker, who picked him up. And it goes as incomplete.
Well, there's a play that they dusted off a little bit. They send the
the back deep out of the backfield to clear it out. Tremaine Johnson goes down about 5 yards, sort of under control, lets the back, in this case Spencer, take the secondary out of there. Then he comes underneath it, but the linebacker very alertly gave him a little touch as he went to reach for the football.
Chicago started this possession on their own 29-yard line. They were aided and abetted by a personal foul call. They have moved it down to the 16-yard line. 2nd down and 10. Landry gets a big rush from in the end zone. Touchdown. Ricker again, the tight end. Big rush by Kimmel, but Landry got it away and hit his tight end for still another score. Mitchell was the man that he caught the ball right over. Beautifully thrown pass. And Ricker now coming into his own. A touchdown catch a week ago and 2 more tonight. He's got 3 on the year.
Well, you got to say that Landry read that absolutely perfect. You'll see it again. He's got good protection. He knows the blitz is coming from the right side. As he puts it up in the air and lets him run under it, he sees that the defensive back on that side, Aaron Mitchell, is beat. Aaron starting out as a corner with the Dallas Cowboys, now playing safety.
Back to the extra point. Corral hooks it badly and misses again. So he's done that twice tonight. He was troubled with a bit of a bad knee, and maybe it's showing up. 11:29 to go, 29-12, Chicago. To 12, Corral to kick off, and the deep men are Blue and Murray. Frank's had some trouble. He did have a field goal. He's kicked an extra point. He's missed 2 others. Low bouncer comes down to Murray, who kicks it a bit, picks it up at the 15, back across the field. Can he turn the corner? Giving ground at the 15, comes back this way. Down he goes. Well, they sprung him out too far, and he was giving ground, and the very alert Chicago Blitz defense, their kickoff team. Those special teams, Don Heinrich, take great pride in doing just what they've done there to a guy trying to return a kickoff, don't they?
Yes, they do. And one thing George Allen emphasized, because things didn't go quite as well last week, as you see the scoring drive, 7 plays, 71 yards in 1 minute and 54 seconds, climaxed by a 15-yarder to Ricker from Landry. But Allen didn't feel that they were holding their lanes, as we have a man just a little bit injured down there. We can't, I think if you can see at this point, it looks like Glenn Perkins, a linebacker. But talking about the coverage, Allen was not satisfied. He wants his people to stay in those lanes. He isn't necessarily, like most coaches, want somebody that's really going to fly down there ahead of everybody else, take on a wedge. They want to stay in those areas. They did it very, very well. And talking about Corral, you know, he pulled a little muscle. You mentioned his knee. He got a little bit of a groin pull last night. So Allen apparently, as you see, Perkins being helped off the field, looks like he hurt that right leg a little bit, not putting much weight on it, hoping that it is not too serious.
We're set to go now with Risher taking over on his own 15-yard line, takes the snap, steps back, walks back to the line of scrimmage, and down he goes.
Well, I'd have to almost say, Tom, that was a quarterback draw that they were trying to set up to get him out of trouble. They flared both backs out of the backfield, trying to draw the linebackers out of there. It did not work at that point. Greg Landry's been effective in the second half throwing the football the last couple of drives. He's now 14 for 20 for 163 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions.
2nd down and 10. Risher at his own 15-yard line. He's down, trailing in this game, 29-12. Risher rolling to his left. Sideline pass, flagged down, batted away by Livers as the pass was intended for Balholm. The flag on the play, and it could very well be pass interference against the defense, but we'll let the officials call it for you. There's Bill White conferring with his side judge. At halftime, it was 10-6, and of course, out came the Blitz, drove it downfield to make it 16-6. Back came the Wranglers to make it 16-12. Then the Blitz back on top, 23-12, and still on top, 29-12. Big discussion there. Risher, Stan White, and the officials.
Well, you know, Arizona has had some opportunities that they have missed on. They've missed some field goal chances. They've been in there fairly deep where they might have come up with possibly 7 points that would have kept it a little bit closer. But now the experience and probably the intensity and the depth and the smartness of Greg Landry at quarterback has started to assert itself as the Chicago Blitz has moved out on top 29-12.
I really wish I could tell you what all of that is about. One official just took out his flag and threw it in the air while talking to Bill White, the referee.
Well, you know, they've done something, Tom, that they did not used to do in professional football. If for some reason there's some doubt on a call, it doesn't stand as called. They may confer. They have that option, and conceivably to change it and say that it was not.
Well, I got an illegal motion call against the offense, and I got a pass interference against the defense. I think they're going to cancel it out and do it all over again.
I think possibly they had 3 receivers up on the line of scrimmage, which would make one of them ineligible. So
I just gave you the right call. They're going to just offsetting penalties, and Bill White's microphone did not work, or he would have told you. But we had a procedure call against the offense, pass interference on the defense. That consultation between the officials looked more like a convention than just a friendly meeting of what did you see and what did I see. They really took their time about it, didn't they?
They did, and it all goes over.
So it's at the 15-yard line, and it's 2nd and 10 again for the Arizona Wranglers. They're trailing 29-12, and we're in the 4th period, and Risher's trying to get some points. Going to run it, going to throw it, upfield, nice catch. As he really almost threw it too high and too far, but Bledsoe pulled it down. Curtis Bledsoe at the 33-yard line, and that's good for a first down. Kind of a desperation toss by this youngster who's staring through that face mask over at the sidelines to see what the play will be, and he says, come on, fellas, give it to me in a hurry.
We'll see it again as Risher getting a little bit edgy in there. You know, sometimes you get too much time. He steps back up to the inside, sees that he's in a little bit of trouble, but a great catch by Curtis Bledsoe with the ball up high.
So the ball is out at the 33. It is 1st down and 10 for the Arizona Wranglers now, and Risher is back to throw. Nice protection, comes right over the middle, complete. Caught by Keel, his tight end, out to the 45-yard line. Tackle made by Jim Fanhorst. Keel, a very popular player here. Played at Arizona, of course. 6'4", 228-pound rookie, and had newly joined the ball club. Marked it at the 44-yard line, 11-yard pickup, 1st and 10.
Fanhorst making his presence known. His brother, offensive right tackle, been there a number of years with the San Francisco 49ers, so it kind of runs in the family.
Indeed it does. Risher to the line of scrimmage, his own 44, rolling to his left. Cocks his arm, comes down this side. Great catch, out of bounds. Balholm with another blue-fingered grab right at the sideline. What an impressive receiver this kid out of BYU is.
He certainly is, and the fact that he didn't play a couple years since he had gone on that mission for the Brigham Young people, he has made his presence known. He didn't lose anything. We'll see the catch again. Great concentration as he stretches out for that football and picks up another first.
14 yards on that reception. And they're marking it as a first down, and I think a timeout has been called on the field now. Let me check it for you. Balholm with 7 catches and 73 yards.
It looks like...
All right, let's take this timeout. We'll be back in a bit. Chicago 29, Arizona 12. Acrobatic thing by Balholm. He's got the ball down at the Chicago Blitz 42-yard line, where it is now a 1st and 10.
Luther Bradley was hurt back there as the free safety. Had 2 interceptions a week ago.
Bradley kind of had a bad back, suffering from it a little bit. He's been a little bit nicked up. In motion, Balholm. Risher on the delay, hands off, straight up the middle. Howell has got running room, and he's through about the 32-yard line before defensive help comes up in the person of Walton to bring him down. Walton brought him down at about the 32-yard line. And coming back into the game as Walton goes out is Luther Bradley. Quite a story. George Allen said he was out of position up there at Detroit, made a free safety out of him, and it's Minucci who is signaling in. reserve quarterback out of Kansas State, sending the plays out on the field.
Like you mentioned, Tom, Bradley playing corner at Detroit. And George Allen, like he so often does, moves into free safety and doing a good job.
2nd and inches. All right, straight ahead, first down easy as Howell bulls his way inside the 20. See where the officials mark him down. Going to put him right at the 20. Right up the middle now, and they're opening up some gaping holes in the Blitz defensive line. Muskie pulling and trapping and opening up a big hole, and Howell barreling his way right behind him. Out of Baylor, 2nd-year pro.
Excellent job. That's what that size does for you. As he breaks a tackle, picks up about 5 more after he's hit.
12 yards overall on that play, Don Heinrich, and it's a first down at the 20. I want to thank Kay Schultz of the Chicago Blitz, George Hill of the Arizona Wranglers, Van Barberi of the Chicago Blitz for their help and assistance. Risher in the end zone. Threw it too far. Got a flag down across the way at the 5-yard line. Hold everything. Going to be pass interference. Now let's see who it's on. Tyler was the covering back over there.
Jackie Flowers, their best speed guy, making a move to the outside. He looked like he was going to run that sideline or square out pattern. Gave him a good head fake, turned upfield, and got bumped.
Budweiser's going to select a player of the game, and we'll be announcing that in just a bit. We've got a lot of candidates out there, so you might just, while you're sitting and watching, try to decide yourself who you think ought to be the best or the most recognized player of the game. We'll tell you our pick and Budweiser's in just a bit. Pass interference against Chicago. Put the ball at the 10-yard line. We've got a 1st and goal at the 10 for the Arizona Wranglers. They started this drive on their own 15. Big play in this was that toss over the middle to Bledsoe that kept it alive, and then the good catch on the side by Balholm. Risher, for a young quarterback, Don Heinrich, has showed a lot of class and a lot of poise out there, and this is his very first pro game.
He certainly has.
So a first down now at the 10-yard line. Rolling to his right. Risher looks in the end zone, throws it, and it's caught. Touchdown, Arizona. Tyler could not handle the defense, and a great reception and a celebration in the end zone. And the man who caught it coming away with it is Flowers, as Balholm comes over to congratulate him.
And what a great job by Flowers as he went into the end zone. Coverage right on top of him. The ball thrown perfect, far and away, the only place that it could have been put, and he reached out and grabbed it.
Now for young Risher, that is his 2nd touchdown of the year and his 2nd touchdown toss.
And give credit to the offensive line as they gave him a chance to get the time to throw it as you see it again.
Great concentration by Flowers. He was falling down, yet still never took his eye nor hands off that football, and now we'll see, maybe they'll go for 2. 85 yards in this drive, trailing 29-18. Risher rolling to his right, giving ground, rolling all the way back, looking, still looking. He's back at the 30. Throws it. Caught for 2 points in the end zone.
Oh, baby.
Keel, the tight end. How about that?
What a play. What a job. Nobody ever told him that he was a rookie coming into this league.
Oh, Risher's got to be the happiest guy west of the Mississippi. What a night he's had. What a great performance. And we've got 6:55 to go in the ball game. The score, Chicago 29, Arizona 20. Don't go away. Anything can happen. Almost 7 minutes remaining, Don Heinrich, and only 9 points. And with the 2-point conversion, hey, anything can happen.
Well, they could close ground, and Alan Risher putting on a clinic out here this evening as a quarterback as he found big Mark Keel for the 2-pointer to close that 29-20.
And the blitz figure for an onside try now by the Wranglers as Asmus has got it teed up, advances on the ball, but he hits it deep. And nobody back there for Chicago. Over the shoulder grab by Brown at the 2. Back to the 10. To the sidelines. Flag down, and Eddie's driven out of bounds at the 17-yard line. But a flag down on the play. So we'll await the disposition of that. as the Blitz anticipated an onside try, and the Wranglers crossed him up. Well, I tell you, there's going to be some excitement in this league. The Blitz will go home now with their first appearance in Chicago, literally for the team, to play Denver next Sunday. And the LA Express will be over here next Saturday to tangle with this Arizona club. Meantime, Monday, it'll be LA Express at the Coliseum against the Washington Federals. Here's Bill White. I don't think Bill's microphone is working yet, huh?
I would say it appears that way. You know, you have to say one thing. The Chicago Blitz. Here we get to play again on the two-pointer. As you see, well, that's the touchdown. I'm sorry on that one. Once again at a ground level angle. But the Chicago Blitz are not out of trouble. What they would like is an excellent defensive effort out of the Wranglers, get them 3 and out, get that good field position again, and this is the type of thing that George Allen was worried about. Allen, who covers virtually every detail there is, including designing the headgears for the Chicago Blitz, is in a dogfight.
All right, Bugs to the right side, and Johnson is flanked to the left. Crowd sets up a roar now. High formation. And the give to Long. Straight ahead, buried at the 10-yard line. Well, this is a very young Arizona Wrangler ball club, and they play with the enthusiasm of the young. They are easily stirred. They probably get down as quickly as they get up. Here's that two-point conversion now, and Risher literally ran about around, maybe 60 yards. Back and forth across the field. He was all the way back, stumbled at about the 35. It had a bit of a wobble to it, but Keel was standing there and caught it for 2.
Doesn't matter how it gets there, just so it does.
Nobody ever says just how many.
That is it.
Spoken like an old quarterback. No question about it at all. Second down now, and 9. The ball is at the 10-yard line for the Blitz, who lead by 9. Landry back to throw. Comes to this side. Spencer, and he's drilled almost in his track. Up to make the stop was Kimmel. Flag on the play.
Quick coverage by Kimmel as he got out there to that swing pass. He wasn't going to waste any time. He was locked in on Spencer. And if it's in favor of the Wranglers, it is, which it generally will be as it's thrown in there, most likely they would refuse the penalty because it would now make it third and almost 8 yards, possibly 8.5.
Line of scrimmage was the
Doug Shively on the sideline conferring with one of his coaches as they're trying to determine whether or not to take it.
Well, they say decline
Signaled no.
Decline the penalty.
The coach says no. Let's make him go third down. We don't want to give Landry that opportunity to put it in the air. He's been effective against him tonight. One more down.
Decline, third down.
Penalty decline, so if they can stop him here, they're going to get that ball at approximately midfield.
They called it holding on Tim Norman, number 68. So it's going to be third down now. Mark the ball at the 12. At the 12-yard line, 3rd and 7. Big play time. How do you stop Landry, the veteran quarterback? He's seen most everything. Tough to surprise him. The backs are split. He's got Johnson to the right and Bugs to the left, and he's back to throw. Set. Puts right down the middle. It is caught at the 22, 23-yard line. Not complete. As Bugs could not, Johnson could not hang on.
And a good job by the defense. They closed ground in a hurry. Johnson had it, couldn't quite get it put away. That's what defensive backs you like to see him do. You see it again. They'll strip him as he tries to put the ball away. And by stripping, I mean they'll grab his arm, try and jerk him down before he can get a chance to lock it in there. Gets just enough of that right hand and keeps tugging at it. And Johnson drops it, so we're going to get the punt, the turnover. One area that George Allen was concerned with more than any other was the offensive line.
Frank Corral is standing in the end zone, waiting to kick it away. He'll get a rush to be sure. Waiting back upfield is Billy Rickman. We haven't seen Billy in the game yet. Some fresh legs. And there's another look at it. There's the snap to Corral. Steps up. Frank hits it. Bad kick. Off the side of his foot. Bounces at the 40. Rickman takes it in stride, goes out of bounds at the 45. Ideal field position. But remember, Chicago leads by 9 as the Arizona Wranglers take over on the Blitz 45 with 5:36 to go. What a great game. Arizona at its own at the 45. Bledsoe straight ahead. Still on on his feet inside the 40 at the 39.
Well, they changed up on him a little bit at that stage. Chicago probably anticipating that they would go to the air. They ran the little draw play to the inside. Good blocking up front.
Terry Falcon literally let Bledsoe just ride his back right downfield before Lathrop could come up to make the stop. Just inside the 40. Call it 2nd and 5 at the Blitz 40-yard line. Risher, the quarterback, rolling to his right. Has time, may run it. Throws it. Boy, almost intercepted. What a great play. We're going to have a personal foul call. It'll be against Ed Smith. Now, what happened was that as Risher threw it, Smith almost intercepted it. Risher reached in, batted it away. Smith took exception to the whole thing and literally manhandled Risher to the turf, and it's going to cost him 15.
Well, there's been a couple of costly penalties against the Blitz here. One on offense down there that kept him back in the hole on the holding call and wasted it down for him. This one, with the Wranglers getting good field position, now keeping the drive alive, as George Allen is complaining. He doesn't think that's the case. Most coaches never do when it goes against them, and we're going to get it again.
Now that's where Smith just takes Risher
by the
and tries to throw him right through the turf here at Sun Devil Stadium.
Well, he's been giving them fits. I imagine there's enough frustration on those defensive people to say, when we get a shot at him, we want to give him that little bit extra, and it cost him.
29-20 is the score. You see the ball has been moved inside the Chicago 25-yard line at the 24 now. A first down for Risher and company. And this crowd here at Sun Devil Stadium really involved in the contest now. Balholm goes in motion to the right side. Risher on the delay, hands off, and with the ball battling his way to the 20 is Howell. He ran Balholm in motion, hoping to get the linebacker to follow across, and then ran Howell on that delay back to that supposedly weak side, Don.
And yes, and Howell, that was the draw again up the middle, tried to change up on him. The Blitz that time were in a blitz. They had both outside linebackers coming. They had one of the safeties up there. A dangerous play. You either stop it or you don't. If you find a seam in there or a crack and get into that secondary, you don't have too much support. He didn't quite get through it, but he did get a few.
Some great stats for young Alan Risher tonight. Second down now and 6 at the 20-yard line. Back to throw. Dumps it over the middle. Complete. Howell inside the 20 at about the 16-yard line.
And we're going to get us a 3rd and short situation. First time tonight that the Wranglers have employed a delay to the back coming out of the backfield. And Risher, fully intent, as you look at it again from the ground level or coming from the end zone, you see him waiting. He hits Howell over the middle. The linebacker's dropping a little bit deep. Howell just takes as much as he can, and now we have the 3rd and short.
White made the stop, 3rd down and 2 at the 16-yard line. Big play time, obviously. Straight ahead and stopped for a loss. Certainly no gain was Howell, and at the bottom of the pile, Lathrop. In there also was Troy Thomas, number 79. You see Smith. And now it is 4th down, and the ball is at the 16-yard line, and hold everything. The Arizona Wranglers are going to take time. We've got 3:22 to go as George Allen looks on. Chicago 29, Arizona 20. We're in the 4th period, and it's big play time for young Alan Risher and the Arizona Wranglers. Here it is, 4th down, and for sure 2 yards to go at the 16-yard line. Risher, 2 tight ends to bookend the line. He's got Howell in motion. The pitch is to Blue. Blue dives for the first down, fumbles the ball, scrambles for it, and a big pile up at the 8-yard line. Arizona says they've got it. Hold everything. The Wranglers recover. So we see Harold Blue in the game for the first time, and on the sweep, cuts back in, gets the first down, and then bobbles the ball forward. Not a bad play.
It was
recovered by the Wranglers.
It was as it turned out, the old fumble play.
Thomas says he's got it. He's not about to get up without the football.
You know there's some tussling and fighting going on underneath, scrambling for that football. It's the guy with the strongest arms that can jerk it away. Blue broke 1 tackle to pick up the necessary yardage, then unfortunately coughed it up. But we haven't got the decision to this stage.
Nothing official yet. The Wranglers said it was theirs. We're waiting for Bill White to tell us. Another conference there, and you see the ball is inside the 10-yard line at the 8. If the Wranglers have it, indeed, it is first and goal.
Well, you don't see the defense leaving, so I'm inclined to think that it's going to be the Wranglers football.
Hold everything.
Well, the official wants to confer a little bit. Get his opinion. You'd have a better angle than I did?
We've got 3:13 as the time remaining here in this football game.
There's the angle. Mark
now.
Keel on the spot.
Went right by
picking
him.
a block up. Trying to help out a little bit.
That's Bradley, 27, diving back. 24 is Livers. Odie, the center.
It looked like Odie was the first man to get to the football. And if he did, he's the old cowboy in the offseason. He's a rodeo rider. He was down to one of the last cuts of the first.
Arizona's ball, first down at the 9-yard line, first and goal. It seemed to take the officials a long time to tell us that the Wranglers had the football.
Well, Odie, as I was saying, a rodeo rider went down to the line with the 49ers, but he made a big play there.
Wide to the left is Balholm. To the right side is Flowers coming in motion now. Risher bobbles the snap. Straightens, throws in the end zone. He's got a man wide open, threw it too far. Balholm had busted loose in the end zone, gotten away from Bradley. But as Risher bobbled the snap and staggered away from the line of scrimmage, his pass, a high lob, thrown too far, incomplete.
Well, that could almost been a gift, as he was so wide open. And you got to bet that Alan Risher wish he had that one back. You don't get people that wide open in the end zone. We're going to look at it again in just a moment.
Manucci signaling in from the sidelines what Risher is to call now. Second and goal at the 9. 2:52 is the time remaining. Coming in motion is Flowers. Risher to throw right over the middle in the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Balholm was there to make the grab, and Risher's got 3 touchdown tosses. It is 29-26, and remember, a 2-point conversion, and we've still got 2:48 to go.
Risher going again under pressure as they had the blitz on. He sees it, he reads it, he lets it go, throws it just underneath the arms of one of the defensive linemen. Balholm going high in the air, the ball hitting him just about on the numbers. Good concentration, 6 points.
We're going to try for one here, apparently, as the Wranglers line up now. It is 29-26 in favor of Chicago, and we're going to have Asmus now try for just one. Field goal will win it if he's successful here. That brings it down within 3. The try, it's up. It's good. We've got 2:48 remaining in this game. And the Chicago Blitz hanging on over the Wranglers. It is Chicago 29, Arizona 27. Watch it again. Risher's touchdown toss. You know, Dan Heinrich is an old quarterback. You can appreciate the touch that kid had on that ball. Threw it over a defender, right into the arms of the receiver. And this kid is playing in his first pro football game. That's a great performance.
Well, it certainly is. And the effectiveness he has is the timing, the ability to read, the highly intelligent kid that he is. He anticipated Balholm coming in there, delivered it well. Now the pressure is on the defense. They were successful the last time as they managed to get the Chicago Blitz 3 and out, but with
well, now, wait a minute. Let me
remaining.
pick your brains a little bit. Shively there, do you think he's going to try for an onside kick in possession? Would he dare kick it all the way down and give the ball to Chicago and let this veteran team maybe run off the clock on him? What are you going to do?
Well, I'm a little surprised that he didn't go for the 2-pointer there. Quite
well,
frankly,
he can win it with a field goal. It's 29-27.
This is true. I would have to think that at this stage, while it's certainly an option they have is to try the onside kick, that they're going to put it downfield, figuring they're going to get the 2-minute warning to stop the clock. They have, I believe, 2 timeouts left.
And they have momentum. And this young, energetic ball club from Arizona fired up. This is a very young team, one that has been put together very late, probably the latest of any of the clubs in the USFL, and they really are playing their hearts out tonight. Stone takes it at the 5, 10. Check it, not Stone. To the far side, that was Willis, and he brought it back to the 25-yard line. Stone was shaken up and injured, and Willis brought it back to the 25. There's the scoring drive and the 9-yard toss by Risher to Balholm for the TD. And now, with 2:39 to go in this game, the Blitz will start on their own 24, leading by 2. And ball control and possession has got to be the thought uppermost in the minds of George Allen and his quarterback, Greg Landry.
We'll see if they get conservative and stay on the ground.
The backs, of course, are Long and Spencer. Landry, the quarterback. Long count, the snap, the give to Spencer. Sweep to the left. Hit, gets away. Great pursuit. They drop him at the 25-yard line. Campbell led that attack on defense, and Risher, 25 of 33, 3 touchdowns and 243 yards. Is that some way to debut?
It really is. And you know, he's on the phone talking to the quarterback coach, Larry Becky, saying, what do you want the next time we get the football back?
Timeout has been called by Arizona now as they come over to confer on defense. Coming over is Ben Apuna to see what Doug Shively wants to do. Shively a little bit upset out there for some reason unknown to us. We've got 2:16 to go in this football game. A 2-point lead for Chicago.
You look back, there have been a lot of different changes that could have affected this football game. The Wranglers missing some scoring opportunities, missed field goal here and there, a fumble down deep. On the other hand, Corral, the importance of his extra points that have been missed.
But he's missed 2 of them, Don, and that would make it 31-27 and negate any try for a field goal to win. So it has been a game of breaks and missed opportunities, but then what is it? Life is like that, really, when you nail it right now.
And an exciting football game it is.
2nd and 8 at the 26-yard line. The Blitz with the ball and a 2-point lead. And time running out. In motion is Willis. Landry to throw. Steps up. Going to run it. Comes to the 30-yard line and dives to the 31 as Jackson was there to bury him at the 31-yard line.
Landry getting up just a little bit slow. Looks like he got shaken up a tad as he is going to go off the sideline at the 2 minutes.
Just under 2 minutes remaining now. We'll be back. 29-27 Chicago. And Doug really does not seem to be very pleased about something, and down to the left, I don't know what it is.
I don't know what he's disturbed about, but you know, we talked that last drive where Risher took him in for the touchdown. On a 4th down situation, Blue made the 1st down, fumbled the ball away, and a big play by Odie. We get in the score out of Tampa Bay, a final 19-7 over Michigan. But then the situation has changed as it is 3rd and short here. This now becomes the biggest play in the football game.
Shively, I'm led to believe, is upset because the clock should, now they've moved it back to 2 minutes. And Shively said when that play was down, when Jackson tackled Landry, the clock suddenly showed 1:59, and now they've set it back to 2 minutes. And that seems to be an arbitrary figure that they've agreed upon across the way, the officials, and we've got exactly 2 minutes now left to play in this game. Games tomorrow, Birmingham at Oakland. It'll be Boston at Denver and the New Jersey Generals at Philadelphia around the USFL. Don't forget Washington and Los Angeles Monday night. And Jim Simpson will be there with Paul McGuire to report all the action for you on ESPN. 3rd down now and 4. Landry back to throw. Gets set. Gets hit. Staggers. Hit again. Sacked at the 20. Joe Peters. Kadich. Great rush by this young Arizona ball club. You see big number 79 Campbell come dancing off the field with Peters. Watch it again. Here they come. Hit first by Jackson, got away, and then Kadich grabbed him and threw him down with Campbell right on top. And the Wranglers are going to get this ball back, down by 2 points, and anything can happen.
Well, the Arizona Wranglers chose to gamble. They had everybody coming, half the grandstands, and got the pressure they wanted. They backed them up about another 12 yards, so the field position should be pretty good.
Well, Frank Corral to kick, and he had a terrible effort the last time. We'll see how he does this time. It's a much better one. Leichman waiting, takes it at the 40. Far side, gets a block, and gets knocked off his pins at about the 43. Well, now we'll see about this young quarterback. Can he maneuver his ball club? He's 57 yards away with 1:06. Needs a field goal to win. He's got 1 timeout remaining. And the ball is at the 42-yard line. Remember now that he will get the benefit of the clock being stopped officially with every first down in this closing 2 minutes of play. We've got 1:06 to go. Mark it at the 42.
Well, they've got these people and these fans excited. They're on their feet.
I formation now. Bledsoe's in the tailback spot. Keel is set in the slot to the right, and Risher rolls to his left, cocks his arm, comes to the side, caught by Balholm, and he steps out of bounds, and Virgil Livers had fallen down. John Heinrich, if Balholm had been a little more intent on the defensive back, he might be in the end zone jumping up and down right now.
Well, he didn't know that Livers had fallen down when he made that break to the outside. His concentration was to just pick up what he could get. Had he had that opportunity to turn it upfield, he would have gone for that extra yardage. He's given Livers a real lesson over there.
2nd and a yard to go. Risher has the ball at the 49-yard line of the blitz. He needs a field goal to win it. Clock stopped with the out-of-bounds reception by Balholm. Risher rolling to his right. Fires it downfield. Intercepted by Bradley. No. Had it and couldn't hang on. Luther Bradley out of Notre Dame. Top pick by Detroit. George Allen takes him for the blitz. Luther's playing with a stiff, sore back. He was right there, had it in his hands, and he's talking to himself right now.
And here it is again. Oh, Risher got away with one on that case.
Keel was the intended receiver. And George Allen looking on with a 3rd down and a yard to go. Arizona, the ball on the blitz 49-yard line. Straight ahead, Bledsoe with the first down, and the clock will stop now as they mark it. 51 seconds. The official will come in and stop the clock at 51, and it'll be 1st and 10, Arizona on the Chicago 47-yard line.
Risher going back to the shotgun, it looks like, that was effective for him in the closing moments of the first half when they moved the football.
Well, you've got to have great empathy for this youngster out of LSU now. Trying to maintain his poise and his cool. He's got a chance to pull off a major upset early on here in this USFL season. Out of the shotgun, he's back to throw, goes to the sidelines, going down. Flowers looked as though he slipped as he made the break for the sidelines. Good coverage over there. The coverage across the way was by Tyler. And the clock stops with the incompletion. 43 seconds, 2nd and 10 at the 47-yard line. We've got 43 seconds remaining, and Chicago leads by 2 points. The blitz defense huddling. Stan White calling the signals. Tyler, who is starting because Frank Minifield, a top pick by George Allen's ball club, came up with a severe knee injury operation. They say he might be back at the tail end of the season. 2nd down, Risher. Straightens up, quick looking pass, but Keel, the tight end, never did look at that football, and the pass thrown by Risher hit Keel right about the knee, and I don't think Keel could have caught it had he seen it.
Well, he wasn't very alert on that. Risher knew that they were playing a zone in that area. He wanted to try and get it to him quickly. They had split Keel out or opened him up just a little bit, trying to stretch that zone, and he had not looked back as Risher let the ball go. Would have taken a good catch. Just a little low and behind him, though.
All right, 3rd down, 10 at the 46-yard line. 40 seconds. Risher got the biggest play of his young career. Steps up, going to run it. Yes. He's at the 45, the 40. Sidelines, first down at the 35-yard line. 32 seconds remaining. And Risher's got a first down for the Wranglers as Bradley chased him out of bounds.
And more importantly, he stops the clock, and this crowd loves it. Very alert play by Alan Risher, as he has done all night long.
Asmus is on the sidelines warming up. Missed 2 field goals a week ago. Has kicked 2 here tonight. Risher has had 3 touchdown tosses. Such has been the complexion of this ball game, back and forth, crowd-pleasing action from the opening kickoff. And here they are now with a first down, the ball at the 31-yard line. Check at the 36, 1st and 10. Risher going to be hit as he throws, gets it away, complete. Keel out of bounds at about the 26-yard line.
Again, a great job by Risher and an excellent job by the offensive line. They had the blitz coming. They were bringing one of the defensive backs along with a couple of the linebackers. You see it again. Oh, good job by Keel. Stop.
Keel out of bounds, just shy of the 25-yard line. Risher's got 28 seconds left. It is second down and a yard to go, just short of the Blitz 25-yard line. There's Keel. Bledsoe's 23. What an upset this would be. What a great comeback this would be. Risher rolling, throws. It is caught. Did he have possession? Yes, first down at the 18-yard line. The pass caught by Keel. We've got 23 seconds left.
And they still have one timeout they could utilize. They've been extremely effective going to the sideline. You know that when you're down to one timeout, that in most instances you're not going to waste it by letting the time run down, throwing something to the inside. Yet Risher, with perfect timing, and the outside receivers running fine routes, have eaten up the yardage and are now down threatening and in close scoring position for a field goal.
He trailed 29-12, remember. He has brought him back. Rolling, sets, cocks, looks, throws for the end zone. It is off the field of play, incomplete. And some precious seconds have gone away. Now he lost 6 seconds on that play, and Risher obviously feeling the emotion of the moment, feeling the pressure. It has been a tough night for the youngster. Look at those statistics. 28 of 40, 3 touchdowns. Remember how banged up he was, and Krieger came on for one play. Shively walks out to say something to him. Second and 10. The ball is at the 19-yard line.
Risher says, I got a chance to get that job. I'm not staying out of that lineup any longer than necessary.
I think you'd have to steal his helmet and his pads to keep him from getting the job next week. The LA Express will be over here on Saturday, and they'd best be prepared. 17 seconds remaining. Second and 10 at the 19. Risher hands off on the give up the middle. With it is Howell. 11 seconds, 10. They're going to come down to try to win it with a field goal. 7, 6, 5, 4. And now they stop the clock with 4 seconds left. And Asmus will come on. And the pressure goes to the young rookie out of Hawaii. Missed 2 a week ago. Has kicked 2 tonight. Missed 1 from 39. All of that's got to be going through his mind as he has a chance to upset a ball club that came in here as a 13-point favorite.
Well, after he missed that 39-yarder, Doug Shively had a little chat with him. He came back and popped that next one through. So maybe that talk did him some good. He's going to get the real test here. And if he could knock this one through, you're going to see this crowd get very, very excited. They've been on their feet through almost midway in the fourth quarter. And the biggest play once again tonight, as there have been any number of big plays, particularly for the Wranglers, is right now.
It'll be a 34-yard try. Krieger will hold. Asmus has made 2 of 3, his longest 35 yards. The game riding on the toe of the youngster from Hawaii. The line is set. The snap. It's down. He hits it. It's got the distance. He's got it. There is 1 second left, and pandemonium breaks loose at Sun Devil Stadium as Arizona has fought from a 29-12 deficit to lead 30-29 with 1 second left in this game.
Well, Tom, everybody has cleared the bench out on that field. Coaches, players, ball boys, anybody that helps out, trainers, they are all on that field.
Budweiser has selected Alan Risher as the most valuable player of this football game. Budweiser's player of the game is Alan Risher, number 7, a man who has engineered a 30-29 come from behind 1 second lead over the Chicago Blitz. For all you do, Alan Risher, this Bud's for you.
You got to say that. He is certainly deserving down here. You know, there have been any numbers of heroes. Balholm with some great catches.
Oh, magnificent.
Great catches along
How
the way.
about Asmus? He had to suck it up and kick it through.
With the pressure on, he did it. Now you might see a squibber to get that ball bouncing around, not give it a chance to get that long return. Mike Smith made some key catches along the way. Jackie Flowers made some key catches along the way.
Well, it was just a kind of a
team effort.
A storybook game here tonight. Remember Risher rolling around for 25 or 30 yards to throw a two-point conversion. Mark Keel, the tight end. Flowers with a diving catch in the end zone for a touchdown.
And then where they had some problems in the first half, a little bit of poise in the defensive line. It had any number of offside penalties.
And they turned the blitz away inside the 10-yard line at the end of the half and forced him to settle for a field goal that made it 10-6 instead of possibly 14-6 at the intermission. Although the blitz came back and dominated the game in the early going to go on top 29-12, Risher and this young group of Wranglers never gave up. And the result is what you see on your screen, 30-29. And up at the scoreboard a moment ago, it kind of summed it all up. It said, wow, right across the top. So Asmus, you're not Budweiser's MVP. Risher is, but Asmus, you get A for guts and courage for kicking it through.
And the last couple defensive efforts have been outstanding as they've stopped Detroit, or as they stopped the blitzes. The blitzes having coming out the second half with Landry putting the ball in the air, moving it to long drives, resulting in scores.
Now, George Allen, who still has a second left, and don't sell one of the great football coaches in the game short, has actually called a timeout and summoned his kickoff return unit to the far side. Allen is going to try to do something to win this football game, although the odds would seem to be overwhelmingly against him pulling it out.
Well, it's
There's
never over.
Down below, and they're talking to Asmus about where they want him to kick it, what they want him to do with it.
As I started to say, Tom, it is never over with 1 second left, as you indicated. Anything could happen, and don't discount George Allen, but I certainly like Doug Shively's position.
Yes, he does seem to be in a position of strength. We want to thank the executives and officials of both football teams. Our stay here has been very nice and very pleasant thanks to them. George Allen, his staff, Van Barberi, of course, Kay Schultz, the Public Relations Director of the Blitz, George Hill, Public Relations Director of the Arizona Wranglers, and John Chaffetz, Administration Officer, and all the rest of the people connected with the Wrangler football team. When you're hot, says the scoreboard. All right, Asmus, you've got one more time to kick it, and a penalty is setting it back to the 20-yard line now. He hits a low squibber, bouncing at the 40 to the taken by Eddie Brown. Watch it, a lateral back. With it is Willis trying to get outside. Can't, he's down. The game is over. And the Arizona Wranglers have done the impossible. 30-29 as they defeated the Chicago Blitz. Marcus Tarver was the last man to make the grab. And there is Shively, and he'll be over, and we'll be talking to him in just a moment. Being fitted with the earphones, it's got to be a very exciting moment for Doug Shively, whose football heritage goes back to his father, Bernie, an All-American in Illinois, a man who played with Red Grange, athletic director, an outstanding man in football and in college sports, and his son, Doug, couldn't be happier tonight. Let's see if we can get a hold of Doug. Doug, can you hear us?
Yeah, I sure can.
Coach, can you hear us, please?
Yes, sir, I can.
Hello, Doug. Can you hear us?
Yes, sir, I can hear you.
Tom Kelly up here in the booth with Don Heinrich, and I want to congratulate you and your team on a great come-from-behind victory. You must be a very happy man.
Well, thank you very much. I'm just so proud of them. I can't hardly stand it. It was a great effort. They fought right down to the end, and I think we defeated a great football team also.
You know, Coach, what I think we admire most, being down 29-12, your team never gave up and instead seemed to take renewed effort and spirit.
I can't hear you, but I can just tell you this. I don't know what you said, but I know this. I'm the proudest man in the world tonight of my football team. Well, I'm just glad to be a part of it.
You should be, Coach. And this young quarterback of yours, Risher, what a night he had.
I thought Allen played an excellent game. We knew he was a good one. It's a matter of confidence and getting him in there and letting him play, and he did just that tonight.
The final score, once again, 30-29, Arizona over Chicago.